Hello.
Hey, I got two different hard drives and I didn't know which one to use, so I may need a little guidance. I didn't crack them open yet,
Okay,
but I
that's
have.
good. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Come on in, come on in. Go over to the chat and give a little sign in. Nadia, I need to talk to you. Last week after class, you left. I need you to send me the forms. Have you been receiving my emails where I'm begging you to send me the forms? I cannot keep you in class anymore. I know.
Oh, no.
I wrote to you a few times saying the forms you dropped off at the office are no good because I need to sign them. You need to send them to me, and I begged you to stay in class so I can help you do the process. I'm sorry, I'm talking
Okay.
about this with everyone because I've emailed you like 5 or 6 times already. And I don't know if you're not getting your emails, but I cannot have you in class if you're not registered. We're far into this class by now. I don't want you to
Okay.
leave, but I need you not to leave today and to stay behind, and I'll help you do it. You need to send me the forms
Okay.
so that I can sign them. If without my signature, they don't register you.
Okay.
And they don't know that. They took your forms because you sent them forms, but until they go do the work, they don't see that the class is filled and that they can't sign you in. So it's useless. Got it?
Okay.
Oh, I
Yeah.
need you. Okay,
Okay.
so promise to stay behind today? Good. Someone has two computers on with sound on both. So if that's you, please turn the sound off on one. If you don't know how to do it, give me a hand. But this whole reverb that we're hearing, does someone have two devices on? Sorry about that. Turn the sound off to call. There we go. Good. Now there's no reverb. All right. Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
I just needed to get that message out. Oh, wow. So hard to see me today with the sun. I've got the light on here as hard as possible in front of me, but it's just that the window behind me is just more powerful than anything else. There, I've got the front little ring light that I have on at max. It just doesn't overpower that background.
You have it on blurred, don't you, Diana?
Yeah, but it's and I can have it off of blur, but that's
I
not
like
the
it
issue.
on blur. I like it. It looks like a painting.
Do you like it on blur?
I think so.
It's fine. If I have it on not blur, then you see all my background, but the light isn't any better, right? So now I'm going to put the blur on again. You see my hair better, but the thing is that white window that I have behind me that overpowers any light that I put in front of me. So you always see me. The evening, that's another light. The evening people see me fine. It's just the afternoon people where the light pours in. Okay, I've got that thing happening again with sound.
The female.
So somebody.
It's showing up as D. D is the one that's lighting up when we get the extra.
Okay, so Doug D.
Yes.
That's Doug. It's people in your room, 2 of you guys must have the sound on. Maybe you and Mimi. So one of you guys has to turn your sound off. Or Irma. You know, there's 3 people in the same room. So one of you guys needs to turn your sound off, but not like mute yourselves, but go to the mute little icon, click on the little arrow and say leave computer audio. It's not just about muting yourselves. So yeah, like right now I see a little mute on Doug's computer. Mimi's is on, and let me find Irma. Are you here, Irma?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. So Irma's is the only sound that's on right now, and that I guess is working. But if one of you guys turns yourself off, then on, then it's 2. So, oh, see, like there, and now it's gone again. So, okay. All right. So whenever you start hearing that reverb thing, you 3 are in the same room. Be careful. I love it, by the way. I love what you guys are doing, that you're doing. Okay, Matt class time, you know, it's really cool. But we should have, you know, like there's book club, there'll be Matt class time. I like that. All right. So Welcome back, welcome back. Oh, I see, we're not together today. Well, then it still was maybe two computers from one place. Actually, you're right. Doug has a different background today. All right.
I have to leave, Deanna. I sent you a note.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me. All right, guys. So today we have a lot of things that we're going to get done, but one thing that we talked about that we promised was that we were going to do people in, we were going to work on the backups. Now, I know that many of you already have a time machine set up, so I need to see a yes or no kind of answer right now. So yes, you already have a time machine set up. Give me a yes. No, I do not have a time machine set up, or at least you have one that you need to set up. Like maybe you have one, but you need another one for another device or something like that. So if you are setting up a computer right now, you would a time machine device, give me a no, which seems weird because you're the ones who will do it. But I need yes, I already have one is a green,
Yes.
and then red no means no, I don't have a time machine and I need to set one up. Okay, so between the yeses and the nos,
Okay.
I am seeing Julie. Okay, Bonnie, you're not answering.
Cooking.
Or is that your second computer? No, Bonnie, I need you to answer. Catherine, I need you to answer. Rhonda. So I need you to answer yes or no. Justine, anyone who just
Hi,
just
Janet.
arriving? Yes.
I just got here. What was the question?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, people who are just popping in didn't hear the question. We need you, I need to know whether you already have a time machine set up. Say yes. If you don't, say no. And by the way, I forgot, some of you guys asked me for the Backblaze link. And I forgot, I didn't write down, and then it got lost in a myriad of emails who needed it. So if anybody wants the link for the Backblaze, what I'll do, maybe I'll just either send me another email entitled Backblaze backup so I can find it in the email, or maybe I'll just send it to everyone and you guys can choose if you use it or not, or something like that. I don't know what's the easiest, because I couldn't find all the ones who had requested the link, and I'm teaching 2 online classes right now. Online, not like this online, but online where the course is completely online and they go to there and they don't connect with me in any other way than through email. So I'm getting hundreds of emails a day from my students, and the first couple of weeks things just fall through, because I sometimes miss the important ones. So I apologize for that. Anyway, that said, Catherine, I'm still not hearing from you, or Rhonda or
I'm on
Lynn.
twice. I'm on twice, so I am.
Oh, that's
my
why.
entire day.
I see you down there. Sorry. Lynn and Rhonda, do you guys have to set up a time machine today?
I already had one. I have one already.
All right, so then give me a yes. Give me a green yes. Go to the reactions and click on the green check mark. That means yes.
Wait a minute. I just got on here.
Got it. And then Bonnie, yeah, so give me a green yes. You just raised your thumb for a second, but that disappears. So go give me a green yes. That way I can get a good gander at who's come. And then Rhonda, I don't know if you can hear me. Are you on a second computer too? No, Rhonda's just on that one. All right. Okay, so that means that Catherine, Irma, Paul, Nadia, and Doug have to set one up today. So I'm going to work on that for a few minutes. Well, for a little bit more than a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so. Right now, I'm not having the whole conversation again about what is or what isn't a backup. We did that last class. And yes, I am happy to answer follow-up questions on that. Definitely don't stop from asking your backup questions. But if you didn't come to class last week and you have no idea what I'm talking about, then go watch the recording of last week's class, okay? Because we spent a lot of time dissecting all the types of backups. Now, so while I set up the 5 people who need a time machine backup. The rest of you guys, I'm going to show later how to use an existing backup. Okay, so for those of you who already have one, we'll get to that later. Right now, I'm going to create, since I set up my computer completely in new a month ago or so, the time machine backup that I was using for my City College class now is not valid anymore. So I'm going to start it from 0 again. So we're going to set it up with the 5 or 6 people who need it. The rest of you, if you feel like you want to understand more about it, reformatting drives and stuff like that, just hang out and watch. The rest of you, you can take a little 15-minute break and come back in about 15 minutes. Okay. And then we'll continue the class with everyone else. So it's okay if you have a green check mark, it's up to you whether you pay attention right now or you check out for 15 minutes. So come back at 1 p.m. Okay. For those of you who already have it working, because right now it's just about setting it up. Yes, Bonnie?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I was very confused because I had something going on. I'm sorry. I was confused whether the green or the red. So I thought you said if you needed it, you did red,
No,
green.
basically, you already have a time machine, green. You don't have one and you need to set it up. I know it's a weird way to say no, the answer no, but it's basically red.
Okay.
It's just that I kind of needed to
Okay,
have 2
so
colors.
I have an external hard drive somewhere that I just need to find. So do you still recommend you said last week, you still recommend having the time machine also, right?
Well, when you say external hard drive and back, they're 2 different things. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about that before everyone leaves, because we will talk about having an external hard drive is basically owning another one of these guys.
Yep.
And you can put extra stuff on that. Kind of like if you have a house and you have a storage room, or you have a little mini storage somewhere where you take half of your stuff there. But that stuff is there now. It's not in your house anymore, right? So that would be like the use of an extra external hard drive. And I do that, like all my photos, all my clients, all my client work, I have it on an external hard drive. It doesn't live on the computer's hard drive, right? So that's extra stuff, but that's not a backup of the stuff that you have on your computer. Okay. So if you have an external hard drive with new stuff and you have your computer with stuff, guess how many backups you need? You need 2, one for your computer and one for your external hard drive. Okay. So I'm not talking about that second backup right now. I'm just talking about your computer needs 1 backup, and that backup we're going to do using time machine. So if you have a time machine backup, it is backing up the stuff that is on your own computer. It's kind of funny because today we got, like, for April Fools, we got a funny email from Backblaze. I can forward it to you guys later if you like silly emails, but it was in Hollywood, in movies, every time they talk about backups, and there's little clips of like 15 different movies where like everything was saved because of a backup or something that they went in to get. But yeah, so now this is the time when all of you who already have it, tune out. I'll see you in 15 minutes. Now, for those of you who need to do one today, this is an example of an external hard drive. This is also an example of an external hard drive, and they aren't necessarily much bigger one than the other as far as how much material they can save. It's just that this one is new and this one is old. Okay, so this is the one that I have from SBCC, and that I'm going to do a backup of this computer that I'm sharing with you guys. Okay, and it has a backup in there already of my old SBCC computer. But then about a month ago or so, I reset my entire computer, and I didn't set it up the same way as before. So this drive now doesn't recognize my computer. So I have to reset it to create a new time machine backup with this. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter the details. The whole point is that I'm treating this as if I'm one of those of you guys who needs to set up a new hard drive, a new time machine. Now, when I do that, some of you guys have an old drive that you're going to be using like me. Some of you guys have a new one that you bought. Okay. So the important thing is that when you connect an old one, let me share my screen with you guys. I'm going to share my entire desktop, which I know shows up as a lot for you guys, but so when you set up I have some stuff here on, let me just to give me a second here. I'm going to put this stuff in here to get it out of the way for the moment because it's confusing. Okay, so when you plug in a hard drive and it's already a working hard drive, like it's already been used for something such as mine, which is already a working hard drive, then it pops up into your desktop. So let me put a little spotlight on my mouse. Hold on, there we go. Okay, so over here it shows up on my desktop. So right now I have 2 different hard drives connected. This is just an image that I have. These are little things that are living on my, I think I was doing a demo. Let me throw that one into the downloads. Anyway, yeah, I'll do that. Sorry, I'm just trying to move away stuff that we don't need right now, so that this is clear. Keep both. All right, so this is it. I have cleaned out my hard drive. I had stuff on the computer, which makes it a little bit harder to demo this. So that was my desktop. So now I have 2 icons on my computer. Now, some of you guys, I'm going to move this down, might have here at the top a little icon that says Macintosh hard drive. Okay, so this for many, like 20 years of Apple computers, all Apple computers came with a little icon here that said Macintosh hard drive, which if you double clicked, you would walk in, you would open up a Finder window looking at your Macintosh hard drive. Doing that got a lot of people to mess up in their systems, preferences, and files. And so now they don't have it there anymore. But if you've been grandfathering and upgrading your software, you'll discover that it's still there. Even if you have the newest software, newest Monterey, you might still have it there. And that's just out of, but for the most part, you don't see it. You can choose to see it or not. But for the most part, the default settings are that you don't see it. Okay, so you might have that there. I have the basic default settings on this computer right now, and I'm not seeing it right there. But I am seeing this one and this one. Now, mine already have names that I've given them. This was at SPCC Time Machine. This one says 8 terabytes backup new. But I've given them these names. If you've never changed a name of yours and you've plugged in a hard drive, you probably see it saying Seagate or Elements or W, whatever, like the name of whatever hard drive you already have. That's fine. This is just for existing stuff. Now, for people who have a new one, they need to do this. Now, I see a couple of questions, so give me a second, Rhonda. First of all, Irma, you're saying I don't have an external hard drive, meaning you didn't set one up, you didn't buy one to do a time machine, or you don't have one, an external drive, like you didn't go and get one for today. Is that what you mean?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, I did not, I didn't get one to
Okay,
install.
well, you'll see how easy it is. So when you get one, you can watch the recording when I do it, but it's really 3 clicks. So just watch. And then when you get one, do it with what you can remember from the recording. And then the next class after you get one, ask me if something went wrong and I can help you. It's
Okay.
it's a simple thing to set up, especially if you're going to buy a new one. Rhonda, your hand is up.
The external drive that I thought I'd be using today is an old one that we had
Mhm.
used on our PC before.
Mhm.
And I am just now reading the box, and it says it's for a PC, and it makes no mention of it being compatible with a Mac. So should I just
Mhm.
wait until I get a new one?
No, no. Here's the thing. I don't know, but 99.99% chance that it is going to be compatible for a Mac. Rarely is something only for PC, but it is formatted right now for a PC, as much as others might have bought one that's formatted for a Mac. Right now, all I know is that I will show you how to reformat it. If for any reason it doesn't reformat, then that's true. Yours is only for PC, but I have only come a few times across one that can't be reformatted. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
so this is.
but this is important. You will lose anything that's on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay because we
Got it.
have since gotten a newer one, but I just got screen message that says my server connection was interrupted to Google Drive. Do I just say ignore?
Yeah, that has to do with Google Drive, which is nothing that has to do with this class today. So for now, ignore. When class is over, you might want to check in what's happening with your Google Drive, but that's, yeah, I can't.
Okay.
A long other story that I can't handle right now. All right, cool. Catherine, your hand is up.
I got two because I wasn't sure. This one says they're both 2 terabytes. This is a backup plus. And then I got another one that's also a rescue edition. Something about one is RGB and one isn't. I don't
All
know.
right. So
Does it
guys,
matter?
this is a great question. See, can you guys see in the little window that Catherine is showing? Let me stop my share so you can see her window a little better. You guys see how she has 2 different options, both from Costco. Recognize the packaging.
Yep.
You see that 2 terabytes? Whichever one you choose, it doesn't matter. Let me explain why. All that stuff that comes along with these 2 is for PCs. Like all this software to back up. The PC doesn't have an awesome feature like the time machine. So if you had a PC owner and you buy a computer and you buy a hard drive, you have to use software that comes with a hard drive to do a backup. And that's what those things are. They are different software systems to back up your computer. We're going to ignore them all. We're going to use it as if nothing. We're going to reformat and turn it into a Mac backup and use Time Machine. So they'll just be a vessel to hold your stuff. That's it. The software that comes with this, we're just going to ignore.
This one was $29.95.
Mhm.
This one was $80. So I used the cheap.
So the difference is probably that the one on the right, is it an SSD, a solid state drive?
Where would I find that? I don't see that on here.
I would
don't-
have to look at your packaging. So when a hard drive is much more expensive, it's a solid state drive. So when basically, what do we care about it is that a non-solid state drive, the regular drives,
Right.
have a moving piece inside of them. And you need to be careful to ideally treat it very gently, like you would a computer. Don't move it around abruptly, keep it flat and stuff like that. Not flat, but just be gentle with it. Versus a solid state drive, as its name implies, is what's in, is way more expensive and they're way faster, but you can move it around. So if you're going to be throwing it into your backpack, going on airplanes, moving up and down and stuff like that, you want a solid state drive. You pay a lot more and it won't corrupt as much. So if you're going to be using it as a time machine to just sit on a desktop whenever you connect it to your computer, you certainly don't need that portion of it. Brand wise, they're both Seagates, right? No,
Yeah.
one is a Seagate. Yeah. So, there's other differences like that, but and of course there's different qualities. For triple, the price, or not triple, but a lot more of the price, I definitely think that for a time machine, you should use the cheaper one,
Oh, choose the what?
the cheapest one.
But I want to also back it up. So maybe I'll use the better one.
Well, this is a backup. What do you mean?
Oh,
they
this
also
is a
want
backup. Okay. All
The
right.
time machine is a backup.
Okay. All right. So use the cheaper one, you're thinking.
But if it's just going to sit on your desktop all the time, yeah.
And then if I want to have just photos only on one that I'm using
Yeah.
for my work, then maybe I could just,
Yeah, use the other one that's a faster, so it'll like
Okay.
reach stuff in and out much faster. So if you
Thank
want to
you.
operate the computer out of an external hard drive with stuff on it that you're operating on, it's not a backup, but you're putting in stuff that you need to access, open, work on, definitely you want the good one. Yeah.
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
But then you're gonna have to buy another backup, like maybe the cheap one to back that one up. Or everything that's on that one will go and
Yeah. And my other iMac's hooked up to another one that sits on my desk. Okay.
yeah, but if you put stuff on this external hard drive that you just showed me, photos
Right.
and stuff, and they live only there, then you need a little backup for it as well, is all I'm saying.
I gotcha. They
Okay.
live other places. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
You're welcome. All right, guys. So now with your hard drives that you purchased or that you are going to reuse, I'm going to clear all your answers because now all the people who are not doing anything right now, don't answer if you're just watching. But those of you who do have to do a backup, to do a new time machine, I want a yes if you bought a completely new one. So I want a green check mark if you bought a completely new one. And I want a no if you're going to reuse an old one. Okay, so there's about 5 of you who said that you were going to do a new backup. So I should have about 5 answers here. Unless some of you other people are going to do a second one with an old one or something. So yes means you bought a new one. Okay, so Doug bought a new one. Paul bought a new one. Catherine, you should be giving me a little green check mark. You bought a new one.
I'm also doing another old one that sits on my desk.
Okay,
too.
well, give me a yes to start with, and then I'll know that you have both.
Yeah,
And
Diana,
yes, Paul.
I'm using an old hard drive.
Okay, so then give me a no,
Oh,
a red no. So then red no means I'm using an old one. So it's okay, guys. So I know it's confusing to say yes or no, but I just need to see colors. So if you're going to set up an old machine, an old hard drive that already has stuff on it, this is the warning to all of you who said no. So this is for people who are starting a new one right now. Okay, so now I'm getting many more answers than I did before. So like, are you going to set up a new one right now? Dorothy, for example, you're going to set up a new time machine right now, or are you talking about one that you already have?
I already have one.
Yeah. So if you already have one and you're just doing nothing, you're just doing nothing. Just, you know, leave the room, so to say, meaning pay attention or not, or leave the room physically. I'm noticing that the 50 minutes are going because I ended up answering questions. So anyway, we need to go. But if you are setting up a new time machine because you don't have one, right? Or because for some reason you want to replace the one that you have, but let's just assume as you don't have one, then there were 2 options. You're using an old one or you bought a new one. That's all I'm trying to know. Okay, so if you bought a new one, one thing will happen, which is that when you plug it in, your computer is going to say, ooh, do you want me to make a time machine out of this? And if you have an old one, you have to reformat it and then set up a time machine. Okay, so there's 2 different things. So for new people, meaning Doug, Paul, and Catherine, you 3 are the only ones who said you bought a new hard drive. Okay.
Oh, no, I bought, not me. I have an
Oh,
existing.
the other Paul Park. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's 2
I'm
Pauls.
sorry.
So not Paul Durantini, Paul Park. I know you Pauls. Okay, so Paul Park, Catherine, and Doug. You guys bought a new one. Okay, so grab the little cable that came with it, connect it to the USB port on your computer. And I would appreciate if maybe one of you guys shares your screen, maybe Catherine, someone who's comfy sharing their screen, Doug, someone who's comfy sharing their screen, because I want to show what happens to people who have a new one. Okay, you need to, close this thing. You don't need it anymore. You can just go and close that little window. Yeah, perfect. And then minimize or your close. Yeah, that's not closing. Remember, when you have a program open and you do that, all you're doing is closing windows. So quit. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and quit a few things to make it easier, because especially when you share. So you know how the shortcut for quitting is Command Q. So if you want to do that, or right click and then quit. Okay. Quit, that one quit already on you. So say ignore. Okay. And you only have Word left, but whatever, you can quit if you more or not. Okay. So grab your new hard drive. Oh, you just opened it. They were still in their containers. Okay. Go ahead and plug it in. So guys, this is what happens to a new one. Yes. So see, she's showing the little cable, and now the extension is always a USB cord, and she's going to plug it in. And what's going to happen when she plugs it in?
How do I know which is the USB?
Well, what are you on a Mac?
I'm on a
on a
MacBook
laptop, on a MacBook Pro. There's usually only one USB
It'll just fit in.
plug,
Okay.
and it'll just fit in. But if you're using it already, then that's different. But
No, I'm not.
there's only one. So
Okay, plugged it in.
plugged it in. Okay.
It's getting red. Here, you wanna
It's okay.
really demo? It's
I'm
vibrating.
waiting. It's vibrating, and in a minute, so this is for you also, Paul Park. And who else had said yes? Doug. Go ahead and plug in your new hard drives. All right, well, it's not reacting. I'm not sure because of Zoom, whatever, but usually when you plug it in, it asks you, hey, do you want to turn this into a time machine? So I'm kind of waiting for that to happen. Meanwhile, go ahead and open a Finder window to see if we see it, because there's so much stuff on your computer. It's a bit hard. Yeah. So now go down and see where it says
Yeah,
Seagate.
Seagate, yeah.
That was it. Okay, so she didn't get the automatic question. Oh, you know why?
Why?
All right, because it's probably, oh, duh, Diana, how silly. Because it's not set up to be only Mac, yes, yet. So
Okay.
I made a mistake. Those people who bought a Mac ready hard drive will get the question, should have gotten the question right now. Do you want to use the time machine? You say yes, and that's it. It's set up. Okay. So did that happen at all for Paul Park or for Doug? Did you guys buy a Mac ready hard drive? Okay.
I did.
You did. You got the question then of, do you want to use this as a time machine? I'm going to stop your share.
Fine. Okay.
Did you get that? Doug, did you get do you want to use this as a time machine? Your sound is off, Doug, so.
You hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
My USB port from my hard drive, which is brand new, does not fit into this old machine. Is that possible?
No, USB ports have been the same for, whatever, 10 years, 15 years. Do you have a port that's not a USB on your hard drive that you bought? Show me your cable.
My old Seagate cord needed an adapter cord to fit into my MacBook Pro.
But you have a very old hard drive. He has a new one. So let me see if I can spotlight. Okay, put it up to the camera again. I made it big. I need to see the tip of your cord, like you have it sideways. Yeah, that's a regular USB.
Right.
So do you not have, does your computer not have a USB port? I know that laptops for the last few years have come with only one, and it could be that you're already using it for something else.
No, I'm not. I've looked.
So try it upside down, like twist it. It only goes in one direction. Put it in one or putting in another. Yeah, the USB-C or USB, but they have the same port. Deborah is mentioning there's a different port, but the connection, the plug, so to say, looks identical. It doesn't.
They don't want to go. We'll see.
Don't know what to say now.
On my iMac, I had to have another adapter to hook it up to the other external drive.
The thing is that the computers that Apple sold for the last, I'd say 4 years, 3 years, maybe, came with only one USB plug and a bunch of other types of plugs, and it becomes hard because if you're using one, normally you need an adapter to, like you would for a plug that has 3 plugs, how do you call it, a strip to plug in 5 things into one wall plug. That's what you need. I have an adapter here where I plug in 6 different USBs, and another one where I do 7 USBs, because that's how many I need.
Diana, these are the 2 plugs right here. These are the 2 kinds. This is on all the new laptops. This is all they have, is this.
Really?
And this is the old kind.
But okay, so Doug, okay, everyone, do you see what Deborah is showing me? There's 2 kinds of plugs. Now, what kind of plug of the 2 that she's showing? Because I thought you had the
This is a
traditional one.
USB-C. This is a
Yeah.
USB-C.
I know that, but wait, hold on, keep them there. Doug, can you see what Deborah is showing? The one you showed me, I thought was square, or is it rounded like her tip? What do you have?
It's rounded. It's a normal USB port.
No, the normal one is square. The rounded one is a USB-C. Is that? It looks more rounded than square.
Yeah.
Or black.
Yeah, it looks more rounded than square. It's sometimes hard to tell. And okay, so then, and you don't have a port that gives you that option?
Yeah,
No.
my new laptop only has a port for this one. It doesn't, there's no port for this. I have to have a converter.
I might have to get a converter then for my old
Yeah,
machine.
yeah. So here's an example of a converter. I don't know if you guys can see. There's so I forgot that the laptops, when we call them new, the newest ones being sold right now, if they're very new, they're back to having USB connections and stuff. But the ones that are just barely like a year old to last 3 years or so, they stop putting them in. So you need to buy something kind of like this, where these are the plugs that you're allowed, that your computer has, which is the USB-C, these little round ones. You plug this into your computer, and then on the other side, you have all these options of what to adapt, and you can have only 1 or 3. I forgot to say that the other day. I apologize. I completely forgot that laptops bought in the last few years don't have USB plugs for hard drives. So sorry about that. So thank you, by the way, Deborah. I was thinking when you first said the USB, USB, I was thinking, yeah, but everyone has a USB one, right? Like, and that's why it doesn't matter. But I forgot new laptops don't have one. And I even have this here because my son has one of those, and I forgot to mention that. Okay. If you have a laptop that does have one of those new rounded, so to say, ports, which are the USB-Cs, you're going to have to buy an adapter. They're cheap, but you have to buy one. And you can, again, get them online, anything, from, $9, $8, or you can buy one like this that is an adapter to give you many other things. And this was probably $20. But if you want just a one-to-one, it's cheaper. Anyway. All right, so if that's you, then just watch. What I'll do is anyone who's in that situation, it would only be those of you who bought a new one. And if you're in that situation, then just watch a little bit. And then again, you'll see that it's really a relatively simple thing, but I'm okay with you guys in a few weeks when you've got your adapters. If you need a hand, I'll take a few minutes off at the end and just help everyone connect, those of you who have the new connection, the new laptops, okay? All right. So that leaves me with everyone who was able to plug in their computer, their hard drives, like Catherine was. Paul, how about you? Were you able to plug yours in?
Which Paul? Which
Paul Park,
Okay,
sorry.
right, sure.
Paul Park.
Yeah, I already installed this, so I saw the, selected the time machine. So I
You
already-
said, yours said, hey, do you want to be a time machine? And it plugged in. Good. So you're set up. So now that leaves us only with those of you who have old hard drives. Okay. So now I'm going to show you what to do with older hard drives that we need to reformat, because that's what I'm going to do. Okay.
Diana, don't you need to make mine formatted?
Yeah. We're going to have to format all of them.
Okay.
Be it new or be it old, as long as it needs to be reformatted, you need
Okay.
to follow the exact steps that I'm
Thank
about
you.
to.
Thank you
to
so
do.
much.
All right. So is everyone ready? Everyone plugged in their hard drives, right? Other than, yeah. So other than,
Diana,
yes.
I've had one. This is on my wife's computer, and I've had this hard drive's been on there for several years, and it's backing up stuff already. So I don't need to reform. It's already set up, right?
If it's working already as a time machine, yeah.
No, it's not working as a time machine. It's not set up as a time machine.
So what's it set up as? When you say it's already backing up, is there other software?
No, or just some of her files, selected files from her hard drive.
Okay, so then that's not a backup. That's just another hard drive where she drags files, right?
Right.
To save them in another spot, which means that if on October 2020, she dragged a file over there, it's been saved in 2 spots, which is a kind of a backup. But then if she kept working on that file, guess what? The
Yeah,
old
it would-
version is on one and the new one is in
Yeah,
another. So
yeah.
that's better than 0, but
Right.
it's not a constantly upgrading backup.
Yeah.
Right now, if she has anything unique in this new hard drive, it's going to go away with what we're going to do. So if she has anything unique that's nowhere else, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna get a new hard drive for her and just.
Okay, because if there's something unique in here, it's gonna be deleted by the process of reformatting that we're just about to do. I'm changing Anne, your name to Anne Troy. Anyone else I'm not noticing but whose name isn't on, please give me your name on your thing. Okay, so guys, ready to go. So sorry for those of you who I told you to come back. There ended up being technical questions and stuff. So this part won't take long. Again, you can, but it's about 10 more minutes. I apologize. So if you want to disconnect your brain for 10 more minutes, otherwise everyone, we're going to reformat a hard drive. This isn't a bad thing for anyone to learn actually. When you get an old hard drive and you want to reformat it. So this one is a time machine that is already called, because it used to be my time machine, is already called a time machine. But what I need to do to it, I need to first reformat it. So up here on the top left, let me get my spotlight again. So this is for everyone who is reformatting either a new time machine that wasn't automatically connected, or because that means it's a PC formatted Windows, or an old one. We're going to go on the Finder, and we're going to go to Utilities. Go Utilities. I'm going to sit here for a minute to make sure everyone's going there. Go Utilities. Okay, so this is the part. Look at the time, by the way. It's 11:12 p.m. Why am I saying that? Those of you who need to do this later, watching the recording, this is when you need to start watching the recording. So if the class started at 12:30, that means you need to scooch over about 35 minutes into the class and start watching from here. Okay, just for those of you who are going to do this later on your own. So you go to Go Utilities, click on Utilities, and a window will open up, and what you need to open is this one called Disk Utility. You know, I mean, you just scroll up and down, Disk Utility. Okay, so you're going to double click on Disk Utility, and Disk Utility is going to open up. And now I'm going to wait here to make sure that everyone is ready to go.
I'm seeing airport utility. Is that? Oh no, disk utility.
Disk Utilities. Okay, so under Utilities, go to Disk Utility. It's usually by alphabetical order unless you've sorted it differently. Disk Utilities, and this should look like this or very similar to this. If you have an older version, it'll still be there. So anyway, everyone who is right now setting up a hard drive, are you with me? If so, yeah, like if you're not with me, give me a big old wave, a big like, not me, or something like that. Rhonda, I can't see you, so I need to hear from you. The rest of you guys, I'm seeing you. So if something's wrong, give me a big old wave, because I want to leave my markings of who I'm working with. Bonnie, I can't see you either. So Bonnie, if you're setting something up, I need to hear from you. All right. So does everyone see Disk Utilities opened up? I'm not hearing a negative from anyone, so I'm going to move forward. Okay. So here on the left side, it'll say something about a Macintosh hard drive. Don't touch that. That's your computers, and forget all it might look similar or different to mine depending on different options of what you have with internal hard drives and stuff. Down here, it'll say external, and it'll show you if you have any external things plugged in. And in my case, it's showing me 2 different external hard drives that are plugged in. Okay. One, you probably only have one. And it probably is, it's got the name of whatever brand manufacturer, like Seagate for Catherine, or for those of you who already had an old hard drive, maybe you already renamed it something. Mine is renamed as, mine had been named SBCC Time Machine. So I'm clicking on it. You all found it? Click on the hard drive that you just plugged in. It either has the brand name of the computer, of the hard drive that you put it in, or it says some name, some old name. Everyone good? All right. Once again, since I'm not hearing you say no, and no one seems to be looking at me in distress, that means that it's working. I'm going to move forward. I need to make sure to move forward. Okay. So here's the deal. Anything that's in this time machine is about to be deleted. And for those of you who have nothing in it because it's a new one, we're going to reformat. And this reformatting process is going to destroy whatever's in it. So be sure that you're okay with that. Okay, so we're going to go over here to the top choices and we're going to click on erase. Okay, which when you hover over erase, the tip says erase and reformat the selected volume. So click on erase and it says erase time machine. It'll permanently erase all the data stored. And you're like, that's fine. And then give it whatever name you want. So I'm gonna actually, I don't normally call it Soma. I usually call it TM or something like that. But since this one is the one I'm teaching, I call it SBCC time machine. So go ahead and erase whatever name it has, Seagate, whatever, and just call it time machine. If you need to be specific about which computer it's backing up, like maybe it's your Mac time machine, or maybe it's some of you guys are backing up a second computer or something like that, call it the Mac Pro or something like that. Yes, Catherine?
We hit erase. We're just erasing the name to change it. Even if it's a brand new one, we still hit erase.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because you
Okay,
erase,
thank you.
it should say erase and reformat, but it doesn't. When you hover over it, it does say erase and reformat. See that? But if not, it doesn't say that, so it's confusing. But this is erases reform. Basically, you get rid of all the PC stuff in it and you
Okay.
turn it into a Mac one. So you are erasing and reformatting because it is formatted as a, so you have to erase the Windows formatting and make it a Mac formatting. Bonnie, your hand is up.
Yep. So if I just want to add to what's already on there, I don't need to erase it, correct? You're saying you only do this if you're trying to get rid of the Windows.
You can't have a time machine set up. Well, you can.
You don't
I-
just
I-
constantly add to your time machine?
Do you have a time machine set up already? No, you have an external drive with other stuff on it, right?
Yep.
And you're
But when I
trying
plugged
to,
it in, it says time machine. Oh, but maybe that's because I went to disk utility and it just automatic. Okay, and it says not mounted, so that must, I must not have that then. Okay.
what
yeah.
do you want to keep what's on this hard drives and keep it?
Yeah, it was just information from another computer. So-
Yeah, so that's why I said many times before, when you set up a time machine, it needs to be dedicated to this and you're going to erase everything that's on it. So you might need to buy a new one.
So you're
Okay,
only doing it one time? Like you're not because
yeah. So we put software on this, we format this hard drive to become a time machine. Everything that's on it gets erased. And from now on, you do this one time. And then from now on, you leave it plugged in and it slowly starts copying everything from your computer and every day it increases it. And that's it. And that's all that's in it.
Oh,
But
if you leave it
shouldn't have-
plugged in every
And you
day.
leave it plugged in all the time, or say that you unplug it for 3 months and plug in 3 months, then if you lose your computer, you lose 3 months worth of stuff. That's up to you. But whenever it's plugged in, it backs up, it backs up, it backs up.
So
So
if you
this that we're doing, we
it-
do only one time. But what I'm saying is you have to have this dedicated to being a time machine. You can't
Okay.
have other stuff on it.
Okay, so if you unplug it and then plug it back in, it'll catch up. is what
Oh
you're
yeah,
saying.
it'll catch up. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause if you have a laptop, you don't want to carry it around plugged in all the time.
No, that's why Justine gave me that comment some classes ago. And basically at night you plug in your computer, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so leave your time machine next to where you plug it in. So when you go plug in your computer, plug in the time machine too. And
Okay.
then it works at night to update you. And then when you unplug in the morning to take your computer, you eject the time machine and that's
Mhm.
it. Anything you do that day, if you lose your computer that day, you only lose 1 day worth of stuff.
Okay, so basically you're taking an external hard drive and you're
Dedicating it to be,
dedicating it to be a time machine, and you
Yeah.
did that by
Mhm.
using the disk utility. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So I guess I'm gonna have to start over with this. So, but go ahead, I'll listen to what
Yeah.
you're doing. it.
so
Thank
as we
you.
see time machine, there is a way to format your hard drive to reformat it to have 2 sides if you bought a really big one, but if the stuff is
That's okay.
already on it, you can't do it. All right, so SPC time machine, whatever you guys want to call yours, is everyone named it? Now, what format? You need to choose Mac OS Extended Journaled. There's different choices you're gonna have here by default. You can have this. You need to choose Mac OS Extended Journaled. Okay, is that working?
I think I jumped the gun and hit done and it was on exFAT.
Okay, then you
Sorry.
have to do it again.
Start
So
again.
go back to erase and start again.
Gotcha. Thank
Because
you.
exFAT is long story, but right now for a time machine, go
Okay.
for journaled.
Extended journal.
Okay. And now we're ready to say erase. Okay, so click on erase. And it's going to do a process, which by the way, we've been talking a lot, but are you aware that all we've done is open up disk utility and click erase, right? So the process is simple. It's just that I'm explaining a lot. The process is simple. So it's erasing everything that's on this time machine and it's creating a new one. I left the same name on it. Okay.
Now do we hit done when we done that?
Yeah.
Okay,
When this
thank
is finished, yeah, mine is still doing it. Because mine had a lot of stuff on it. And since I should stop my share, it's probably taking longer to make it work based on.
I think
Okay.
I was on my hard drive. Shoot.
Okay,
Okay.
erase process is complete. Click done to continue.
Oh, no.
Okay, what did you do?
I think I was on my, it was on the hard drive. Did I
Oh,
erase my hard
Oh
drive?
God. I sincerely hope not.
I do too. I'll go and see if there's files in there. And when I click on Word, there's some files. So when I click on Finder, let me just go.
Well,
to-
no, you would have, yeah, you couldn't have erased, yeah.
Oh, I couldn't have erased my hard drive.
You
Okay.
could have, but it would have taken you more, it would have made you, okay, erase process is complete, click done to continue. Erasing time machine, creating a time machine, and I'm gonna say done. All right, so now my time machine is empty. Before, remember, I had a lot of stuff on it. It's empty, it's ready to go. Okay. For those of you who are doing this, did that work? Mimi, what did you say? You're getting stuck, unable to look at past classes. Sure, you need to go to the handouts and open up the links to the past classes. Sure, remind me when I say it's break time.
Can
Okay,
I show you my screen? Because I don't know what the heck I did. Some,
all right, give me a second here. Give me a second here. Other than Catherine, is anyone else who did this having problems or issues? You're all okay. All right, then, Catherine, yeah, share your screen. Normally I do this the last week of class, and so people who already have it kind of can tune out. But the thing is that what I'm finding is that sometimes it's not enough to show you how to use it. So, yeah. So external disk S2, USB volume.
I renamed it.
Yeah, but it's not selectable now. Is it? Go ahead and say erase again. Is that the name? Is that the name you wanted to have?
No, I named it something totally
Okay,
different.
so click on erase again. And now call it the name you want it to have. Okay, and then macOS Extended Journaled. So yeah, there we go. All right, now say erase. Okay. And let's see, it should work. It's going to be slower with you sharing your screen and whatnot, but yours was empty. So yeah, it's fine. So say done, and there you go. You're ready to go.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay. All right. So now there you go. You can close. Let me share my screen again. And now we get to set it up as a time machine, which is very simple. So here we are. If you're done doing that, we just close this window and we're ready to go. Okay, so now this part is that all we did was reformat it, okay? Notice if you look at my icons right now, it's changed. Remember before it was green with a little arrow? This is I just reformatted my hard drive. I can use it for anything I want right now. It's not a time machine. I'm gonna now, that was just for old hard drives or new hard drives that you buy that are Windows formatted, what we just did. Now we set it up as a time machine. So head over to your system preferences and open up your system preferences. I'm gonna go ahead and reshare just my system preferences, so it's easy for you guys to see it. There we go. So now I have my system preferences on. And there's something that is important, which is for every one of you guys who uses a time machine, which is to make sure that you can access it through the menu drive. So is everyone here? Down here, at the bottom of all these, you see time machine somewhere over there. It's this green thing with a back arrow. So now we're about to put this software onto that new hard drive. What we did is basically equivalent to buying a new hard drive. All the old hard drives, everything has been, click on time machine. And this is the one that I want to make sure everyone who's in this class was still watching, go to your system preferences and click on time machine. Even if you have one running already, I want to make sure that you all have this check mark on. Click this check mark. If this is on, then what happened, and now I have to share my entire screen with you, then what happened by doing that is that if you look at the top right of your screen right now, you should see this little icon of time machine appeared on the very top right here of your computer. You have a little backwards arrow. If you turn it off, it's gone. And you don't want to have to go into the time machine to deal with this stuff. You want to have that on all the time. So by clicking this on from now on, you just need to deal with it up there. Does that make sense? Okay, that was for everyone. All right, so watch what's happening. Time machine is ready to back up automatically. This should be on, but we need to select what disk, okay? I have 2 disks, and so it's saying that if you only have 1 disk, it might already be saying over here the name of your disk, but I'm gonna select disk and choose the SPCC time machine and say use disk. Do you wanna stop backing up? No, use both. This is because I have 2 different ones. So what happened is that I just told like my computer to set up time machine. Now I have 2 different time machines over here because I have one from my other computer, but you should have one thing that says SPCC time machine or whatever you called yours, and it'll say waiting to back up. Now that's it. That's how we set it up. Now what's going to happen is that the time machine is going to be checking hourly, once a day, for any changes, unless it's unplugged, in which case it just sits there idle. And then for those of you who plug in your computers again at night to power it up, plug in your time machine again. And then at night, it'll check in and it'll go, oh, you made all these changes, and it'll back it up, right? So, but if it's constantly plugged in, it just checks every hour. And then it keeps doing daily backups and then weekly backups. That part of it, I will show you. That's why I did this today instead of at the end of the class, because what I want to do is I want you guys to own this time machine connected for the next few weeks, so that by the we get to the last week, I can show you for everyone now, every single person in this class will have a time machine by then. And I will show you how to access files in your time machine, how to retrieve files that are lost, how to go back in, use the history and all that kind of stuff. But for that, I needed everyone to have at least a few days worth of backup. And when I do this the last day, a lot of the new people who plugged it in don't have any backups yet, right? So now everyone who has followed these instructions has a time machine set up and working. I'll now help make sure that everyone has it working. It says waiting to back up because I have my whole system. It's usually what it would do, it would start backing up. Notice up here, if I go click on this little icon, I can say back up now. I was just telling it to wait for a second because I have backing up so much, but I can tell it, I can say back up now. And so it's beginning, it's preparing a backup. And this initial backup might be able to take a while. We're just gonna leave it there for now. I'm gonna have you guys show me what's happening with yours, and then we can I'll come back to it the last day of this class and teach everyone, because by then you will have 2 weeks worth of backup, teach everyone how to actually use that backup. Okay, so if anyone had any issue with what we just did or problems, Catherine, your hand is up. Is that a new hand or the same as before?
It's a new hand.
Okay, what's up?
It's not showing up the one I just my husband backs up other things and we keep it on the desk and in the safe and da, 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 da. So this new one is not coming up. Do I do add and find that? Do I hit add?
No, share your screen.
Okay. Do you need me to pull it over so you can see it, or are you seeing it? Oh, you're seeing it. Okay, I'm just not seeing it.
Do you have Monterey or?
I have Monterey on this one,
I'm looking to see if there's a,
the limit.
no, I'm trying to see if for, depends on what kind of hard drive you have, you might need to use something else. Okay, so you have others here. Seagate backup, CW external. I see, so the one that you just created isn't showing up. Go down to your Finder, see if it shows up in your Finder.
My Finder on preferences or my Finder?
Yeah, go to your Finder. On the left side, you have a Finder window. It's
Yeah.
already open there. So scroll down to see if it appears, if you scroll down
Oh,
on the
if
left side,
It's there.
there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering what computer do you have? Is it pretty new?
No, it's a 2012 MacBook Pro
Um,
folder.
but what folder, what you have Monterey?
Yeah, Monterey. No, I have Catalina on this one. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
Catalina.
I apologize. I have Monterey on the iMac. I apologize.
That's okay, because it might be that it needed a different format. That's what I'm saying. No, but if it's a Catalina and it's a 2012, then all you need is for it to be formatted as a journal, extended journal.
You want me to
I
stay
do
on-
want to continue with the class, maybe because we need to reformat it again or something like
Okay,
that. So
great.
just
Thank you.
let me help everyone else, make sure
Sure.
everyone else is set
No
up.
worries. Thank you.
And then I'll see. Okay, so because we might need to just reformat your thing again. That's fine, Rhonda. Thank you. In fact, this is good timing. So is everyone set up? Did it work? Is everyone on the preparing backup for the new people, which would be only 4 of you guys? Paul Durantini, what's up?
Just a quick question. So if I
Yeah.
go get another hard drive and it's already set up, it's already formatted for a Mac,
Yeah,
all I do is plug it in and it'll ask me
and
if you
it'll
want-
say, do you want it to be a time machine? You say, yep. It's as
and
simple as
that's
that.
it.
That's it.
And that's it.
And it just starts, now when it's formatted from the PC, you need to reformat it first and then say, go for it, use it.
And it will name that hard drive time machine. It will.
No, it'll have whatever name the brand comes with. So you can just rename it, but that you can do that just like you would rename
Anything. yeah.
anything. Like you can, let me just show you what I mean. You could just share my screen. You know how renaming goes.
Right.
You could go over here and click on this thing and say you want to give it a new name. You do a right click and rename and give it whatever name you want. So if it's called Seagate yada yada, you rename it. Just like I taught you guys last session, if you have a file and you want to rename it, you right click and you say rename and you gave it whatever name you want. Same with a hard drive. You go to a hard drive and you rename it. The naming, there's nothing scientific about it. Right click, rename. So wherever you see it, rename and give it the name you want. Okay.
And it will automatically back it up and it will show it on the menu bar.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. Now, Mimi is asking, what if it asks to be wanted encrypted? I highly recommend not encrypting your backup. I've heard horror stories of people who encrypt their backups that they never retrieve their stuff. It's beyond just knowing and remembering a password, which if you put in a password now and when your computer fails 3 years from now, you might forget what password you used 3 years before. But also it becomes a complicated process to access this stuff. And the whole point of the time machine is to be able to quickly access any mistake that you've made. And so encrypted is a huge hassle. Now, if you're someone who has the kind of stuff that if someone stole your computer, you've got millions of dollars worth of information, you're in a whole nother security, you probably should hire a security expert to tell you what to do to back up your stuff. You know what I mean? So I want to let you know that if someone steals this hard drive, that this backup for any reason gets stolen, For the most part, when they try to access it, your computer will go, nope, you are not the computer I'm backing up. You can't see my stuff. So it'll just not let you in, right? Because it'll be able to tell that this is not the computer it's accustomed to backing up. Does that make sense? But so if I put this hard drive now and I go put it in someone else's computer, it should tell me, no, you don't have access to these files, technically. But anyone with a little bit of hacking experience can get into that. So if you need super uber duper security, because you've got, as I said, multi-million-dollar contracts, who knows, whatever. I don't know what you're all up to. You should probably talk to a security expert to see how to back up your stuff. But encrypting is not a good solution unless you really know what you're doing. So there. Okay. I'm gonna clear all the feedback, and hopefully everyone is back and has been back for a while. And I'm sorry that this took longer. I always think that I've answered all the questions that have to do, but then I forget that the moment we plug it in, different things happen to different people. So, so I'm sorry if I had more of you hanging a bit longer than necessary. As I said, how many we have, like 3, I don't have in front of me how many more weeks of classes. The last class, we're going to dedicate a portion of the time to go and look at these backups that we've been making and begin to figure out how to work with it, how to actually use the time machine. Because as I said, now you just forget about it. You leave it plugged in, that's it. You just forget about it. Or you plug it in at the end of the day. Oh, and if you guys are going to unplug it at the end of the, you're going to plug it in at the end of the day and then unplug it in the morning. Don't just unplug it. Don't just pull the cord, please. Eject it. So if you need to get rid of this here, you can right click on it and say eject. And now it'll eject, which is probably a bad idea because mine was preparing a backup, but never mind. You eject it, which is probably why it's hesitating and it's not ejecting. It should eject. It's probably ignoring my, no, there it is. It did eject. So now I have to set up my time machine. That's okay, by the way. In the midst of it backing up, you eject it. See how it's gone? Now you can unplug. So you first need to eject it. You can also eject from here. You can go over, it'll show up under locations and you can right click and eject from there. And once you've ejected it, then when you come back in and decide it's time to plug it in again, you plug it in, it pops it in again, and you do nothing. It automatically keeps backing up. It's just automatic. And then in the morning you unplug, you just eject. This is for people who take their Mac laptop with them around and they don't want to have it connected all day. For those of you who have an iMac and it's connected all the time, just leave it connected and forget about it. It'll just sit there and be doing the work that it needs to do. Okay, any questions before we move on to a completely different conversation? Looking at questions, no questions. All right, cool. So we're done with backups for now. So everyone start paying attention. Maybe I should have a little horn that goes do 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 do. So come back from wherever you went. Everyone pay attention again. All right. So remember, I also told you last week that I wanted to make sure that you all got any email or internet accounts that you had. So I'm going to open up my system preferences and I'm going to share just the system preferences again. There we go. And remember, we went to internet accounts last week. Clicked on that. I'm looking at the time. Is it anywhere near time for break? Should I give you guys a break before we start on this now? I don't. What?
It's 1:40.
So break will come relatively soon. So let's do this. Let's prepare you for this conversation in case some of you guys forgot about this and have to go run to get some information during the break. Remember that we had you set up the pipeline account. Did everyone set it up? Was anyone missing? If you go into your internet account, so here's where I went. System preferences, internet accounts. Do you all see something here that says pipeline? If it doesn't say pipeline, you might have not changed the name, that it will say Google. But when you click on it, does it say your pipeline email down here? If so, that's your pipeline account. If you want it to say pipeline like mine, you need to go into details and just write pipeline or SPCC, wherever you want to call it. on the description. And then here, instead of just saying Google, now it'll say pipeline. If everyone has that set up, it's important for today's class, so you need to have that set up. Other than that, I recommended that you connect other accounts. So in this case, I have SBCC Teacher already set up as well. I can go ahead and say, well, I have a Yahoo email. I'm going to click on Yahoo, and I'm going to set up my Yahoo one, which is Yahoo. So I'm just doing it again, and I'm requesting that if you have any other accounts to do this. So dimundus@yahoo.com. So your other accounts that you have, go ahead and do that. But for all of them, this is crucial. You need to know your passwords, right? Which is why I said do this. We've noticed some unusual activity because I haven't set it up in this computer before. So it's asking me, can I send you a message? And I'm going to say, you can either text me a message or you can email a message. I'll just say, go ahead and text me this message. And so it's going to send me a code in a second. There it is. And so I'm looking at my phone now, 846, 810. So this is numbers that I just received on my phone, and I'll say, okay. And now there he goes. It knows it's me. I leave everything on. I say done. So I want you to do this. This is my request as your homework, to put in all your accounts in. If you have a Cox account, you have to click on add another account and then click on mail account. So if you have anything that's not one of these main ones, you need to click on add another account and then choose mail account and add it there. All right. So-
Excuse me, Diana, how do you
Yeah.
add a Google account?
If
Or
you
Gmail.
have another Google account, you go to the word Google,
Mhm.
click on Google, and it'll say you need to open browser, and it'll open browser, and it's not sharing that screen. So I need to share my entire screen. You open browser, and you put in here your personal Gmail, whatever. If you have a personal Gmail, put it in here, then say next, put in your password, say next, and it'll go in. Okay. So by the time you're done, my goal was to have you have all your accounts here. So if you haven't done that yet, now it's break time. Do it during break. Okay. And when we come back, we're going to work. And if all you have is your pipeline account, we'll work with your pipeline account. If you put your others, it'll give you a better idea of how to work with multiple accounts. Believe me, we're not creating, this is important, we're not creating new accounts here. You're not creating an email address for your Mac or anything like that. These are just email addresses that you already have. Some of you have a work email address from your company. Some of you have 2 different emails, which I highly recommend to have 2 different emails at the minimum. One for your junk mail, one for your that you use regularly. I'll talk about that a bit later. But anything you already have, you're not creating new ones here. This is important. This is something you already own and have. And what this app is going to do is that we're going to be able to see all of our emails in one place and see how to deal with that combination of emails. All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was trying to do this to add my Google account, but it's taking forever. I don't know what's wrong. I turned off the Google Chrome, everything, and this is the second time, I'm doing.
So, and you know that you have the right password and everything?
No, when I click Google, it it does, and then I click the browser, and it takes forever. It never opens.
It's possible. Are you doing it right now that we're on Zoom?
Yes.
Yeah, it's possible that it's just too much bandwidth. Disconnect from the course during break, do it, and then connect to the course again, and I'll let you in when I come back from break.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Diana.
because this is important. If you guys are having issues, I've noticed that this process sometimes takes a lot, your internet is going to get used up and Zoom is taking out. So if this is happening to you, disconnect from the course, and then in 10 minutes. So right now it's 1:45. So we're going to do a break until 1:55 p.m. Okay, so disconnect from the course, say end, and then check in again at 1:55, and I'll slowly let you in. And meanwhile, connect any other accounts that you have. Okay, so when we start again, we'll be ready to go. All right, let's go on break now. I'm going to mute everyone so you can make all the noise you want in the background, and I'll see you in 10 minutes. Mimi, are you still there? I
Yeah, I
I
am.
see now. I didn't
So I get
it's
the, I
break time, but
don't know why it won't let me go further than that.
Mm.
It's no access.
yeah, you're probably trying to access it outside of Pipeline, and so it's a pipeline. You have to be through the school system. So share your screen and I'll see what you're doing and I'll tell you what you're how to do it.
So that's the message I get. Should
Yeah,
I,
but how do you get here? Like, what are you doing to get here?
that's,
Oh, you're in Pipeline. Okay, so go click on Google Drive on the far right. Is that what you do, that it tells you you can't? Wow. Okay, so this is an issue. And this has to do, there's something's wrong with your Google because you're in Pipeline. I thought this typically happens to people who aren't in their Google, in their Pipeline account. You know what I mean?
right,
But
I
you're
was-
trying.
little worried and I don't know if, I don't know enough about anything to know, but
All right, so go up to the far right where there's a big M circle.
right
Yeah, no, the one right underneath that. Yeah, it's no, it's good because it's showing you it's your Pipeline account, so you're fine. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go to here, let me give you the, oh shoot, I don't have it here, the software. Let me see if I can copy it in. You need to go to the student tech support. This is a Pipeline issue. This is nothing to do with you not knowing what you're doing or anything like that. You need to go to the tech support. I'm looking for the link because no, I didn't need to do that. I'm trying to find how to, I normally have it in my other computer, but
I would email them, is that it? And ask them to,
well, you could do that, but you could also connect with Zoom. So hold on. Here, okay, here's the link. So I'm putting in the chat
okay,
a link, but if you click on it right now, you are, you know, on a Zoom account already, but after class here, I'll send you an email.
no, I don't see a link in the chat. I don't even see the chat right now.
Well, give me a second. I'm gonna email you.
I was worried because my daughter signed this up for me and I thought, well, maybe it's in her email and this is, I'm not, you know, maybe there's some mix up there or something. That's why her,
I'm trying to, can you click again so I can see your email? Can you go to the it's MS Greenberg. Okay, MS Greenberg Pipeline. Yeah, you seem to have two. You also have a one that's MS Greenberg 1. So you know how you had an issue with your connection. So I'm wondering if that might be another
Yeah.
problem.
maybe she is MS, but I think she's, I think that's why I come up as Mia because that's her name. So
Yeah,
anyway,
so this might be an issue that you have to handle. You know what I mean?
mhm.
That I can't. So I'm trying to also put in your personal one, but I can't right now access your, I don't have your, I don't want to ask you over line. What's your personal one? Because I want this email to go to your personal one too.
Well, my personal what? Email?
Email, yeah.
To me personally, it's mimi@mimigreenberg.com. It's that first one on that.
Maybe at mimigreenberg.com. There you go. Okay, so tech support link. I'm sending you a link to your email. And that link is going to take you to this page. Let me share now my screen. Okay, guys, everyone, it's time for everyone to come back, but I'm helping Mimi with the fact that her pipeline account stopped working, which is a bummer because today we're in fact going to be using that pipeline account. So hopefully we can get it sooner, but here we go. When you get to this page, the link that I sent you in an email, and guys, I put in the chat a link that I want to show everyone how to use. But I just sent I've sent this information in all my emails at the beginning, informational emails to you guys with all the class. If you have tech support problems, I give you a link. That link takes you here. And this page has all kind of IT tech support that students can have, and you can call them at this number during that time. You can email them clicking on this link. Here, there's just instructions about issues, right? But then if you head down to this one, virtual computer live support through Zoom, as long as it's between 11:30 and 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, you click on this link and it's a Zoom link. And you have to be off this class, of course. You click on this and it'll zoom you in, and a tech support person will pick up just like me. And on Zoom, they'll look at your computer and see what's happening. Okay, so this is a Zoom link, works Monday through Thursday, 11:30 p.m. You could also email them when there's issues with, this one is just gives you like step-to-step how-to. So this one help you with problems with pipeline. So if you're having problems with pipeline, you either do that Zoom link or you email them and go, my pipeline isn't letting me in. My Google says that it's not allowed, or whatever is happening to Mimi is having issues. She has like a complicated issue where there's another person with her name and there's two different, it's just kind of weird. So you need to have them fix it. I can't do any, I have no idea how to handle any of this kind of stuff. It's all internal. Okay, but this is just other stuff that you guys can get student support, tech support. So this link is important. It takes you to this page and there's all that kind of all the different ways to get tech support. All right. I'm going to bring that down. And it says your screen sharing is paused. Have I not been sharing all this time?
No, you weren't. No, you weren't sharing. Oh, yes, you were sharing yes.
Yeah, you were seeing this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For a moment, I thought, oh my. Yeah, it's just that I had changed.
By the way, I added my other account.
You managed to add it? Okay,
Yeah.
Good. Let me see if anyone else is in the waiting room. I think no, I let Catherine in, I let you in. Yeah, sometimes when we're on Zoom, things like that tend depending on how fast your connection is, it needs to not be on Zoom for it to work. All right. Okay, so let me share my screen again. I have this camera that hides my, all right. So this is where I left you guys, adding different accounts. Okay, so hopefully everyone has added a lot of different accounts. I'll tell you now how to use them, why they're here, but most importantly, it's so easy to get rid of them if you don't want them for any reason to be here. So it's not like you're tied into having to use this. Let me just say that if you don't want something, and I certainly don't want my game center, and I know that a lot of you guys have that game center sitting there. I've shown you before how to delete it. And if you already deleted it because you were in another one of my classes, then you don't have it anymore. But for those of you who still have a game center, it's unless you play games with other Mac users and you want to see like leader score reports and kind of, oh, look, Mike is doing better than me and that kind of stuff, you don't need it. So if that's so, I'm going to show you by deleting this one how easy it is to delete anything that you added in here. You just select it and hit this little minus and it says, are you sure you want to delete it? And you say, now remember, this is really important because this sounds so stark. You're deleting the account. No, you're just deleting the connection to this account. And if you want it back, all you need to do is add it again, just like you added it. It's not like you get rid of the account. So if you have an email address with, so here I have an sftcteacher@gmail.com. That's an email account that I have. If I delete it from here, if I select it and say delete, it will take from this computer all this information out. My SPC Teacher Gmail will disappear from this computer. And that's why you would do that. But the account is still there if I go to Gmail or if I see it on my phone. The account, I have not canceled my account with Gmail. I'm just saying I don't want to see it on this computer. That's all this means. And if I decide, ooh, I did want to see it, I just click on Google and say add again and put it in there again. So you're not getting rid of the account. You're just taking that stuff off of this computer. Does that make sense? Is that pretty clear? Nothing here is permanent. You don't create an account, nor do you get rid of an account as far as its existence. You just do or not see it on this computer when you put stuff in here. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
That's all that's happening. All right. Now, I'm not gonna, right now, if you did connect other stuff temporarily, I want you to disconnect it. So say that you connected a Yahoo, go ahead and turn all of these check boxes off for now, every single one of them. And when you do that, it'll say inactive. This is the other way. Say that you do have an account. This is my junk mail account, by the way. Yahoo, this is an email that I have that's my junk mail account. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. But I have it. I own a real account that at some point I had this, like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. And it got so full of junk that I had to abandon it and make a new one. And instead of deleting it, I kept it as my junk email account. So now countless of times when you have to give your email to sketchy characters online, when they say, give me your email, and you're like, I just want this one discount, but I never want to hear from them again, or stuff like that, then you give them your junk email address. So all the stuff that you're going to be getting now barraged with offers of whatever is just going to go in there. And you just go, okay, great, thanks. I don't need to look at that email. But you do check it now and then when you do use it, like right now. Say that I want to go get a discount for, I don't know, shoes at Macy's that I got. And they say, oh, to get this discount, give me your email, or to access this PDF, or to read this book, give me your email. If it's a one-off kind of situation, I can turn on my email, go find that email, download it, get the coupon, and then turn it off again. And then I don't need to look at it for another few months. Does that make sense? I'll show you what I mean about turn it on or off, but basically you have it connected in the internet accounts, but you have them inactive. So this, I think, is a better idea than deleting it. Deleting it would be something you truly never, ever, ever, ever want to use, like that Game Center. But Yahoo, every now and then, I'm going to want to check that email, maybe to go ahead and select everything and delete all the thousands of junk emails that I just received, which I probably not a bad idea to do it every few months, and then disconnect it again. So I recommend putting in all accounts that you ever have in here that you use or don't use, or I've explained this junk email concept enough times that I know that some of you students already have a junk email, and sometimes it's by default. Your email got so messed up that you just cannot clean it up anymore, that you decide, you know what, that's going to be my junk email. And from now on, I'm going to have a new email that I email to all the people I care about, and that's going to be my new email, right? So that's fine. And you can do that too. So that's what I want you to do to any email that is not your pipeline for temporarily. Okay. So I'm going to go to my pipeline email and make sure everything is on. The one that's my pipeline email that here has my pipeline address, leave all the connections on. But this SBCC teacher email, I'm going to disconnect everything for now. My iCloud up there, I'm going to be a bit more careful because iCloud has to do with a lot more stuff. So if you have an iCloud connected in there, don't turn anything off from that one. We'll be learning more about that in a minute. But what you might want to do just for this sample, you could turn off mail or stuff like that. But for now, just leave that one on. Just leave that one on. That one and pipeline. Okay. Whatever's in your iCloud, whatever iCloud says, for now, leave it there and pipeline. Everything else, if you have anything else, turn those off. Do not delete them, turn them off. Is that clear? Has everyone done that?
Yes.
All right. So by putting in all your accounts, what happens now is that from your computer, you can check in on different accounts with all of the apps that come in with the Mac. I'm going to switch again now to my entire desktop. Move this over. Down here in my dock, every time I switch, I have to get a new spotlight for my mouse. There we go. Down here in the dock, when you first buy your computer and you haven't taken things out or added things in, what you end up having is a whole bunch of apps that you might or not be accustomed to using, all of which are replicated in your phone. Oh, I forgot. I completely forgot last week I had shown you, let me backtrack. I need to show you on your phone how to do the exact same thing that I just did here. So let me share. Everyone go grab your phone. You share phone. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm sharing my phone with you. And let me move things out of the way. Let me spotlight. Okay, here we go. So here's my phone. Phones are iPads. Okay, phones are iPads. So if you guys have an app, a phone or an iPad, it's possible that you're accustomed already to using the email program that comes with the phone, which would be this one. I need to start again, this little envelope. Or someone who could have nicely said, oh, you have a Gmail, why don't you download the Gmail Google app? In which case you probably already downloaded the Gmail Google app and it's a big old M. That's fine, except for then you can only access a Gmail email. But if you also have a Yahoo email or a pipeline email or a this email or that email, you end up having to check a ton of different places to get your emails. If you instead use the Mail app, which is what I'm going to teach you how to use now on the computer and on the phone, you can get all your accounts viewed at one time, all at once. So to do that, we're going to do again what we just did. We're going to go to settings. Okay. And in this case, scroll down till you get to Mail. Click on Mail and Accounts. Okay, so I'm going to back up now, back up, and show you this again. You go to your settings, which is exactly the same as our system preferences. Then you scroll from the very beginning, from the top, like where it says we are, scroll until you see Mail. When you click on Mail, then you go to Accounts. As you can see over here, I only have the iCloud account, so I'm going to add an account. So I'm going to click on Add Account. And does this look familiar? Does it look exactly what we had on the computer? So I'm going to click on Google. Do you want to use Google to sign in? Okay, continue. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to write my pipeline email account. Okay, so DE Musacchio at pipeline.sbcc.edu. Oh, sbcc.edu. Okay, you type it in there. This is exactly what we did on the computer. And then we say next. And it's going to ask me, oh, okay, it's a pipeline email. Let's go in here. So here I put only the username, DE Musacchio, and then my password. So this does not need your email. This is just the username. And then whatever password you use for your pipeline. And then you say login. Good. And here it asks you what part. This is what we had. This is these little green marks are equivalent to the check marks. You can have them on. This would make it an inactive account, which is what I asked you to do to the other accounts, or have them on, which for pipeline, I want you to have them all on, and then say save. Okay. So now, if you notice, this only says Gmail. So once again, I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to give it another name. So here where it says account, I'm going to go description, and instead of Gmail, I'm going to go here and I'm going to call this one SBCC pipeline. And when I back out, oh, SNCC. So again, how do I give it a name? You go to accounts and you choose the one that would now say only Gmail. You have them all turned on, and at the top, it says account. Click on that. And here is where you put the name that you want to make it easier to understand what this is instead of just the simple generic word Gmail. Now, if you don't have any other Gmail account, then that's fine. Did I? And so now you have iCloud and SBCC, and you can continue to do that to any other email that you have. So I'm going to do that to my SBCC teacher account. So I'm going to do it all over again so that you guys get to do this. I'm hoping you're doing this on your phone. I'm not seeing many of you typing. Only Lynn, I see her doing it. So everyone, this is the time to grab your phones and your iPads and do this. Okay. So I'm going to use another account. I already have SBCC. I'm going to use another one, and I'm going to go for SBCC teacher at gmail.com. So this is when you put any other email. Oh, God, I keep typing SNCC instead of SBCC. My finger today is fat finger. Okay, next. It'll ask me for my password. Next. Whoops, I must have not typed this in correctly. There we go. But this time, this is equivalent to what I did in my computer. I want you to turn these off for now while we're learning. I only want to handle 2 accounts at a time. Later, we'll turn these on for another account. So basically right now, I've only got, oh, and this says Gmail, see? So I need to go right on this one, go up to the name and call this one. So I'm going to call this one SBCC teacher because that's the one. This is the one I use. That's, God, why is my finger touching all the N's instead of the B's every single time? All right, done. So now when I go to my accounts, I can tell that this is my pipeline and this is my SBCC teacher. This one, all is working. This one is inactive. And why is it inactive? Because I turned these little guys off. This one, it says mail, contacts, calendar, notes. If I turn it on, it's because all 4 are on. If I were to turn notes off and say, people get scared, it says delete from my phone. Again, like before, it just means don't see these notes on my phone. I'll turn it there. And now it only tells me that I'm seeing mail, contacts, and calendars. Okay. So that's all it's showing me what's on and what's off. Okay. And now it shows me that mail, contacts, calendars, and notes are on. On the iCloud account, there's a lot more stuff on. Okay. And that's what it's telling me. That's a lot more stuff on. All right, back out. This is how you put all your accounts in your phone. Okay, you go to mail, you go to accounts, and right now I have 3 in there, and you keep doing that. You might end up having 5 or 6 or however many you have. Okay, so this that I just did on the phone is identical to how it works on the iPad. Okay, so if you have an iPad, you do exactly what I just did, and you will be ready to go on the iPad as well. Now, all of this is prepping for how it should work. But now let me start showing you how it works. Any questions about the phone? Okay, Bonnie, I can't hear you. Your sound is off.
Sorry, I always forget about that. I just wondered, I have on my list of accounts, I have my AOL email. But then when I go to where at the top where it says iCloud, like yours did, it's the same exact email address.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Many of you guys, when you were given your computer, by the way, I just noticed my video's been off all this time after break. Yikes, there's my video. Sorry, I don't like to have my video off when I'm teaching at all. Next time, warn me. If I guess I came back from break and I started answering Mimi kind of on break and I didn't turn on my video, but then it kept going. Yeah, so if you have an iCloud account, that when you open your iCloud account, right there, your email is the same as one of your email addresses. That's just because when you went to start your setup, instead of asking you, what account do you want to set up for iCloud? They just said, what is your email? So you tell them, and then it becomes your email. And what happens is that maybe years later, you don't use that account anymore. Well, that's still your iCloud account. It's kind of weird. It's this combination. So for now, just ignore that. We're going to see how it works inside of email and how that works.
Okay, so leave both is what you're saying. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Leave them both for now. We'll see later if we need to turn one off from here, but once you now start using the applications, you'll see if it works one way or another. Depending on how it was set up, I'll tell you what to do. You'll share your screen and I'll tell you what to do. So Mimi says, when doing this in my phone, when I get to Google, it asks me to choose an account to continue to iOS. It's a Gmail account that you're putting in there. It's the Pipeline account. Mimi, is it the Pipeline account?
Yes.
Well, it might be that you're having Pipeline account issues. Remember, we talked about that. So it might be because of that you're getting that question. Otherwise, it just says choose an account to continue to iOS. What is just like that dash question mark? Is that what it says or what?
It says choose an account to continue to iOS. Yeah, that's what it asks question, and then it gives me my regular .com email address, or it says use another account.
Well, click on use another account and put in your SBCC pipeline. Because if you have other pipelines in there, it'll ask you which one to choose. And so if you already have one, then say add another account and then put in your whole MS Greenberg at pipeline.sbcc.edu. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then when you say okay to that, it'll take you to the pipeline login.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Julie, your hand is up.
Yes, on the internet accounts, I would like to have my own Yahoo account, but when I click on it, there is a Yahoo account, but it's under my husband's name. So how do I do one?
Okay, so in these places, you do not create accounts. In these places, you add existing accounts. Okay, so if you want to create an account, okay, and so I'm sharing, you have to go to yahoo.com.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Mail, sign in. You want to sign up, click on sign up and create a new account. Once you've created it and it exists, then you go here and you put it in. So remember, we don't create accounts or delete accounts. See, these are existing accounts. So if you want to create a new Gmail address, you create it on a browser through Gmail. If you want to create a new, whatever account, you create it in that place on the web.
Okay.
Once created, and here's the thing, a lot of people who have Yahoo accounts or Gmail accounts, and this is the part that we're going to speak next, so I'm glad you brought this up. When you go check your email on your computer, if you have a Gmail account, you might have to go up to Gmail and check it in there. And my Gmail set up differently than when you guys set it up, so it might be that you don't see it. Or you might have to go to Yahoo or to Cox to read your email. How many of you guys go to your Cox website to read your Cox email, or to your Gmail website to read your Gmail? Molly is raising her hands. Okay. Deborah is raising their hands. Catherine. So every time you need to check email, you have to go to visit 2 or 3 different websites, right? Or if you're in Gmail, you might need to switch here from one account to another, right? Nope, says Deborah.
No,
You don't do that.
Just one, yeah. It's all email that I have.
You have one email that you go. Okay, Deborah, how do you do it? You're saying
I don't
no.
remember how I did it, but it's set up so that it pulls from my other accounts when I.
But as long as they're all Gmails.
No, one's SBC Global and one is Mac.com. and it just
Oh,
pulls
okay.
from the other.
So,
Yeah.
well, actually, that's a new feature that they've included now. As I think about for the last 2 years, maybe.
It's been much more than that. It's been about
Really?
10 years. That's,
Oh,
I mean, long
really?
enough that I don't remember how I did it, but it's set
Wow.
up so that I don't have to go to check the other ones.
Okay, good then, for better or for worse. Every time that I know that they didn't ever work well in the past with Mac accounts. And as of a couple of years ago, it's working with Mac accounts. So maybe that's where I'm remembering, you know, what I'm saying it wasn't. Okay, what's that noise? Someone's got a real intense noise going on there. I'm thinking, yeah, okay. So, so yeah, it's, if so, you need to go into the system preferences for your system settings for your Gmail and add your other accounts, but it never worked well with email with Mac emails. That's just why probably I only consider it as having worked, because I have a lot of Mac emails for the last couple of years. That said, you still have to go open a web browser and go to the internet, right? And it probably has to be the Chrome web browser because it probably doesn't work that well from Safari. I don't know. Safari and Chrome have never been too happy. You're saying no, it's working on Safari for you? Okay. So the last couple of years that Apple people and Google people finally came to agreement to stop fighting each other and to cooperate. And so things are working a bit more smoothly in between them, but before they didn't work very smoothly. All right. So here's the thing. Or you do workarounds like Catherine, who just wrote in the chat. She has to forward her Cox account to her Gmail account. So you're basically forwarding stuff from one account to another to get them to work and stuff like that. All right. All of these are workarounds that, well, no, Catherine's is a workaround that works, but it's more complicated. And Deborah has her Gmail collecting all her emails. I'm going to suggest that if you're a Mac user, and I've always been a Mac user and always be a Mac user, that all of that is precisely what we just set up right here in this internet accounts. You put all your accounts and now you have access to all of this information in one app. Now, one last thing I want to say, as far as if it's better or worse to do what Deborah did it through her Gmail account, which, by the way, this is the first time in years of teaching that someone says that they're happy and it's been successful, Deborah. So I'm glad it works for you to do it through Gmail. It's good to know. So when people say, can it be done? I'll tell them, yeah, there's a way to do it. You go to your settings and you add it up. Until now, I've been like, no, as you heard me before saying, it doesn't really work too well. Do you have a Mac account though? Like a .me or .mac email? And you've never had issues with that? Okay, cool. That's great. So here's the thing. When you do that, you still have to go to the internet, meaning you need to have an account, a connection to the internet, and your Wi-Fi needs to be working, right? For better or for worse, if you use the Mail app that we're going to open right now, which is down there on the dock, it's my Mail app, and I'm going to close that again for a second. That Mail app is what we're going to be using. The Mail app is going to be a let me share a new screen again, one of my little whiteboards, and I had this one created already, but I'm going to start from zero. What we're going to do here is we're going to have one app, which is just called the Mail app. That's all it's called. Okay. And I'm going to write Apple in the sense that it's the one created by Apple, not because it's called Mail Apple, but just so you guys know, it's this thing called Mail, which if you look at the icon, it's this little envelope with blue around it. And if you go to your phone, it's the same icon. It's an envelope with blue around it. That's the icon. And if you have a very old computer, some of you guys still have an old system. Maybe Doug's has an old system. I don't remember anyone else right now. I think one more percent an old system. Then it looks like a little postage stamp with little edges like old postage stamps. You know what I mean? That was the icon on the Mac in the past. It was a little postage stamp. So it acts like a funnel showing you the emails you get from all of your existing email accounts. Okay, so, whoa. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop sharing, but I did. So I need to go back to that. I clicked on that thing and lost my whiteboard. I apologize. Here we go. So your mail app acts like a funnel. Okay, so I'm going to put it here in the middle, and here's your funnel. So then if you have a Gmail, that's a personal Gmail. Okay. Or if you have your pipeline, which is also a Gmail, but it's a school pipeline. It's a school Gmail. Or if you have an iCloud account, iCloud or .mac or .me, which are all iCloud accounts. Okay.
The first one you need to put mail. You have Gail.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sometimes I can get into those again to select them and correct them, and sometimes it doesn't let me. It drives me crazy. So I'm gonna, I can't, there we go. Gmail, personal account. Okay. Or you could have, I don't know, Outlook, or there's so many, Yahoo. I'm just gonna say Yahoo. Or you can have a Cox, or your own personal one, like Mimi has a mimigreenberg.com, or I think Bonnie would probably have vinodivino.com or stuff like that, you know, like company ones, so to say. So this is all different kinds of accounts that you can own. You can own bazillions other names. I'm just throwing out these 4. And so what you do is the other way around, actually. You go like that, and like that, and like that, and like that. And with the mail app, you read them all. Now I'm just going to the mail app to simplify this, but remember how we turned on calendar and notes and other things in that? Let me share again to show you what I mean, to make clear that you understand what I'm talking about. If I went over here, it was mail and contacts and calendars and notes. So it's the same for all of those. Like if you made a calendar appointments in your calendar in any of these different accounts, they all get accumulated and read together when you read your calendar on the Mac. Or if you go to your contacts, you can read your contacts from all your different account and your contacts and so on and so forth, as long as they're turned on. If they're turned off, even if the account is there, you can't see them. Okay, so say I only turn for SBCC Teacher my mail on, that means that I want my Mac to read to me all the emails from SBCC Teacher, but I don't want to see the contacts, nor the calendar appointments, nor the notes from this account. Right now, I'm going to leave it off again for samples because I just want to work at first with 2 accounts, but you got that? You choose what of all those accounts you can turn on. And for some things like Yahoo, it also works with reminders, versus for Gmail, Gmail doesn't have the reminders feature, so it doesn't work for that. It has you know, so depending on what company you're using, if you use Cox, I think it only has mail and contacts. I don't know if it has anything else, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever that system actually allows you to use is what you get to turn on or turn off. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my whiteboard here for a minute. So basically how this works is you enter all those accounts into your system preferences, and then each app, as long as the check marks are on, you get to go to your mail app and read your Gmail from your personal account at the same time as your pipeline, at the time as accounts or Google and all the rest. Now, this looks like it's confusing. Oh, I don't want all my emails all together. Well, by the way, and you do this without having to forward anything, which is what Catherine mentioned. I'm just looking at the chat again, which is she forwards it, which means that in her email, say in her Gmail account, she's reading both her Gmails and stuff from her Cox account, right? So then you're seeing them as one email, but they still exist on the other one. There can be problems with that when you try to email back, the response will always go from her Gmail account and not from her Cox account. Versus if you have it set up this way, you can receive and respond from your Cox, receive and respond from your iCloud, receive and respond from your Gmail, receive and respond from your pipeline. Got it? Versus when you forward it, if you respond to anything, they get it replied from your personal. And maybe your Cox account, you give only to businesses and now they've got your Gmail. So it becomes kind of confusing. On the other hand, it's a good solution if you don't want to have to do the whole go check to many websites. Better solution is to use one app that congregates them all. It's a Mac class. I'm teaching you how to use the Mac version, but you heard from Deborah, it also works with Gmail. I don't know if Gmail, and I'm asking you, accepts calendars or notes or contacts from other accounts. I'd have to ask you, Deborah, more to show me how you set up that system or what is allowed on the system your way. I only have 2 different accounts on my Gmail, but they're all Gmails. So I'm surprised to know that it accepts other accounts. So actually, Deborah, if you have a minute, I'd love to see it working for you so that I can learn. All right. So this is the thing. I'm showing you the example with mail, but it's the same. It's exactly the same for calendar and notes and contacts, etc. Based on whatever those companies can support. Okay. So like if Yahoo supports reminders, but Gmail doesn't support reminders, then you don't get reminders because Gmail just doesn't have it, but Yahoo does. Okay. So this works for all. So I'm showing it to you based on mail because that's where we're going to test it right now, but then you'll see the same thing happening for all these other accounts. Okay. So you get to choose though, if you want to see everything all mixed up or if you want to see one at a time. Okay, so it's not like you need to turn on your mail and see everything. So you guys, I already told you how Yahoo is my junk mail. So this is just for me, right? Just for me. In my case, here I have Deanna's junk mail. Right now, I'm going to tell you more about what I mean by junk mail because junk mail isn't is descriptive as I use it as a junk mail. I have another account where, for example, SBCC teacher, I send anything that has to do with my teaching. I get lots of subscriptions for newsletters and I have to keep up to date with a lot of stuff in order to teach, like new things that happen on the Mac, new things that happen with social media, new things that happen. And I get all this different information that I would just die if all of that were to arrive all the time in my personal email every day, having to check it all. So in my SBCC teacher, for example, and in this case, again, this is my example for my personal Gmail here, which is my SBCC teacher one. I get subscriptions to all kinds of stuff related to teaching, right? So then I can say, well, yeah, let me, kinds of stuff related to teaching. So now I can, when a newsletter is saying, oh, new ways to do student satisfaction, yada, yada. Do you want to receive the newsletter? I say, sure. And I sign up as SBCC teacher to them. For pipeline stuff, it's school stuff. For personal stuff, it's my friends. For junk mail, as I said, if I get to a place where someone says, oh, I'll give you a coupon, as I said, a discount coupon, for example, for, if you sign up to this, you'll get something for free or for free or something like that, right? And I go, sure, I want that free thing, but I don't want to receive your endless emails after that. So then I sign them up as my Yahoo email to that person. So I have these different people that receive different email addresses according to what they are that I want or not to read. So then this one, it's my off time, it's Saturday morning, and I certainly don't want to be reading anything about work. I just don't have to read it that day. I'll read only my personal ones. and it's Friday evening and I'm like, I'm done with Pipeline for now and won't read Pipeline. I'll only read Personal. This one I won't read unless I turn it on just to get that discount, and then I disconnect it until and then I'll just let all the other junk that because when you start signing up for these things, what happens is that they sell your email. And they see me your address, and so then I get this one. But then in addition to that one, which I did want, then what I start getting is I start getting a bunch of other junk. Why? Because I signed up to a place that's owned by one company. They sell it to their parent company or whatever. And so here I have stuff I want and stuff I don't want. But if I protect my personal email, right? So this is a personal one. I protect it by giving it only to friends and family, for example. Does that make sense? And then the Pipeline is my school one, so it is what it is. And then this one, it's a personal, meaning I created it for teaching related. Okay. So although I created it, it's not a school one, but I only subscribe to things that are teaching related with this one. Or, I mean, if it's legit and it's something I want to read all the time, I'll sign up as a Pipeline, right? Because it's something, but there's so much stuff that arrives for teachers, and I'm sure for any of your businesses that that is beyond unnecessary to read. And that's the kind of stuff you want to check in now and then. So that's kind of how I decide to have many email addresses. Now, how does this work when you go to mail? How do you read all of these? And sometimes all at once and sometimes one at a time. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. Before I go on to show you how to do this, any questions about this or some hands that are raised? So yes, Dorothy.
Oh, well, maybe you'll get to this soon, but on the internet accounts for iCloud, what boxes do we check?
Oh, leave them all on for now. Don't uncheck anything. And we'll because that's beyond email. That's just all of your whole cloud stuff that connects from one computer to another. So for now, leave it all on.
Diana, I uncheck one, I uncheck the mail, the envelope. And now when I'm trying to turn it on, I couldn't. They asked me that I need to add another account, iCloud account.
You need to put in your Apple, what's your iCloud account? Your Apple iCloud account? Do you know what it is?
No, I don't have any. I don't have any. It was my regular, my personal account, but it's there, it's still there. But when you told us to uncheck the boxes, I was able to do it in other email accounts, but in the iCloud account.
Okay, but now in your mail, do you see your email?
Yeah, it's in my mail in there.
Yeah, because that's a bit, I think it was Bonnie's example where she has her same email twice. One is the iCloud because it was just there because it's your iCloud account, but you're not receiving. I'll tell you what's the good and the bad of that, because there is one negative that if it was your iCloud account, it's not replicated into your email. There's some complications and some other stuff for that. So I'll tell you about that later. For now, it's okay.
Okay.
Molly, your hand is up. Your sound is off, so I can't hear you.
As far as calendars, I have it checked with, hold on, just all my accounts. So is that necessary to have calendars clicked on all the accounts?
For now,
Google, I have iCloud, Google, SBCC.
Yeah, for now, I asked you to, for now, just for this class, let me switch. I've asked you to leave, until I teach you how to handle it, I asked you to leave the calendars and everything off on everything except for Pipeline and iCloud. By the end of tonight, when I finish, not tonight, this afternoon, when I finish explaining, you can go back to your other accounts and turn on what you want to turn on. But right now, I'm just going to be dealing with this because if not, it's kind of hard to have too many examples. Okay. So for now, leave only those two. Later, you can go back and say, no, but for this one, I do want my calendar and my contacts. For this one, only the mail. For this one, less. So I need to teach you a bit more before I ask you to turn them on. So see how I grabbed this one and I turned them off. And I will later want to read my mail from here, but maybe not my contacts. I do want my calendar both for my pipeline and for my iCloud, because in my iCloud, I use my personal appointments to my doctor or whatever. In my pipeline, I get meetings from school. So I want both of those calendars set up, et cetera, et cetera. So you start going, if I never need my calendar for this other account, why have it on? And so on and so forth. So you make choices. Now let me show you how this works. But today we're going to just talk about mail. So
Okay.
today we're not going to talk the contact calendar and other stuff. I don't have time for everything in one day. So today we're going to talk about how this works out with mail as an example, and then we'll proceed to the other apps. Okay. So now I'm going to share my entire desktop. I'm going to minimize this for a minute, and let's go open the mail app. So once again, if you don't have your mail app here because you've never used it and so you don't know why you might have gotten rid of it, then let me know and I'll tell you how to find it. But otherwise, if you all go down to your dock, you should hopefully, if you didn't get rid of it, see this little mail icon. Click on that and mail should open. Now, if it's the first time ever that it opens, it might be opening up looking a little bit different that I'm showing you. It could be that it's opening up like this, that it's only 2 boxes without showing you that other little sidebar that I have there. And it could be that it's showing you a little welcome to email kind of message. If you've never used it, it'll say, hello, there's new features. Just go ahead and say, okay, and kind of like bypass that until you get to this point. Is this how many people are seeing it? Or is this how many people are seeing it? Like what is any, okay, let's do this. Let me lower everyone's hands. If you are, let me clear everyone's feedback because there's some old feedback from other stuff in here. If you are seeing it with only 2 columns like this, you are not seeing the sidebar, say no, give me a red no. If you are seeing 3 kind of columns, meaning you are seeing this colored one and 2 more, then give me a yes, you are seeing 3 columns. Okay, so yes, if you are seeing 3 columns, no, if you are seeing 2 columns. Okay. Okay, so most of you guys are seeing 3 columns. Irma, if you're only seeing 2 columns, one solution, and it's not always a solution, was grab the edge of it and make it wider, bigger. Many times that brings the 3rd column in. If not, there's another way, but sometimes it's just that it's too small. Is that, if that works, then say yes and switch that to a yes. Rhonda? You have a question.
I don't have the mail on my dock.
Okay, so if the mail's not in your dock, then go to your Finder and open up a Finder window, and then go under Applications and look down under the M's, and you should come up with the Mail app. And then what you can do is you can grab it from there and drag it and put it into your dock so that you can
Okay,
use
got it. Thank you.
Or you can just double click to open it. And when you do, then it'll show up over here. And then you can right click and say options keep in dock. So that's another way to get it into your dock. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. So now give me a yes or a no based on whether you see 2 columns, then it's a yes. 3 columns if you see, sorry, 3 columns is yes, 2 columns is no. Dorothy?
Yeah. I don't see any columns. In fact, I haven't opened this on my new MacBook Pro before, so it started downloading all my emails and it has showed 97,000.
Yeah, so down here, see how mine is also downloading right now? Because it's just connected for the first time to all these accounts. If you have a new computer, and this one, mine was set up as a new computer too. So the first time you connect, it's just reading everything that you have. Later, it's just there. It'll stop once it has it. It'll stop.
All 97,000?
Well, yeah, this is just because you have never deleted them. So when you open the app, it goes, oh, what emails exist in this account? Oh, she has 5,000 emails in this account. If you don't delete them, they stay there, right? So
No, I've deleted them all before in Gmail.
Oh,
Downloading, this has happened before on my other computers.
you delete them in Gmail or you archive them in Gmail?
No, I delete them. Actually delete them. I trash.
Well, you need to show me what's happening, because if you go to Gmail, you don't have your old emails. You go to Gmail, you can't find an old email?
No, I can if I use the Chrome browser.
Yeah, so that means they're not deleted. There they are.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, if you can find them, they're not deleted, right?
Okay.
Like the only way to not find it is to delete it, like completely trash it. Otherwise, it's there in Chrome. And thus now when you're opening it up, there they are. Your account can see them. So we'll talk about the details later. Well, you can share your screen and you can go in and show me your Chrome and you can show me this and we can tell you how to do it. But basically from now on, if I delete this here, it deletes up in Chrome. If I delete it in Chrome, it deletes from here. This is like a mirror. It just shows you what your account has. Okay. So in my case, my pipeline account has bazillions of emails because I delete very little of my work. And then, right now I know people immediately want to see, how do I get rid of this, archive, stuff like that. Stop. We're still trying to figure out how to handle 2 accounts. Little details like, not so little, but details like that. Give me a minute. I'll get to the in-depth questions later, but first I want the basics. How do we work with these 2 accounts? Okay. So first of all, I still want to understand. So Jeannie and Irma, you still say no. So do you still only see 2 columns, Irma? Stretching it out didn't help you?
It did not help.
Okay. So then you go over here to where it says view. And you know what? I'm going to show mailbox list. Okay, so view, hide mailbox list, or view, show mailbox list. And then it opens up. And then if you make it too small, it'll disappear, and you make it too big, it'll appear. Okay. But if you always had it set to not show, then stretching it out doesn't make a difference, in which case you have to click on this option. All right. Is that working now, Irma?
No, so I went to,
go up here, make sure mail is selected. So it says mail by the Apple, then go to view and go to view and say show mailbox list.
okay, so hold on, mail. You show mailbox list.
And when you do that, the mailbox list appears, and we'll talk about what that is, what that isn't.
I think I'm looking at the wrong view because I don't see.
Yes, so it needs to say mail right there. Okay, so if you have selected your Finder, it'll say Finder. You won't have that. You need to click on your mailbox for it to say mail. Then that view will have the mailbox option. So this is like Computers 101, the stuff that I really work with hard on you guys in my Intro to the Mac class, which is how do you know which application you're working, that menu is. And in this case, look, just by simply clicking my background right there, I'm on my Finder. So file, edit, view are things that have to do with my Finder. If I select my mail, clicking on mail, it says mail. So then file, edit, view, I'll talk about mail. So it's really important that you look and see that the application that appears right next to the Apple is the name of the application that you have. If that's not working, Irma, can you share your screen with me?
Yes, let me see how I can do this.
All right. By the way, Jeannie, you also have a note. Does that mean you're not seeing the mailbox?
You asked about the 3 screens, and I was just, mine is at the bottom for the message, where it says message selected, as opposed to a 3rd column.
Then that's different. So I want you to show me that. But first, let's let Irma show me that. Irma, are you able to share your screen? Do you want me to walk you through it?
Yes, please, because I'm looking at you. I'm going through the class through my iPad. I'm taking the class through that, and I'm using my laptop as.
Okay. So whenever you have problems, I can't help you if that second computer is not connected. So go to your computer, check in to the email, connect through Zoom to that one, and then you'll be able to share my screen. So when you're all connected, let me know. I'll let you in, and then you can share your screen. So meanwhile, Jeannie, can you share your screen?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, thank you. So some of you guys have your setup like Jeannie has, where instead of seeing 3 columns, you see on the left side, the sidebar, on the top, you see the little one-liners, and on the bottom, you actually click and see the email. Okay, so if anyone else has it set up like that, that's fine. This is equivalent to 3 columns. The way I have mine set up, this bottom part where you read the email shows up on the right. That's a choice you can make. And at some point you choose to see it like that, and that's fine. Just, I'm going to show it the other way, but it's exactly the same. All right.
And Deanna, may I
yes.
ask, if you did want to have it on the side as opposed to the bottom, where would you go?
I believe you go up to the mail. Let me see. Format, alignment, style. Let me just see. Window. God. Is it preference? I haven't done that in so long. Probably window, tile left, message viewer. Oy. I really don't remember. It's been so long. This is how they used to show up years ago. And now it started showing up the other way, and I just got accustomed to it, and I don't remember how to change it. I can look it up. There's a way, but I really don't remember.
Thank you.
I believe it's almost manual. You can click on that and switch it. Yeah, I don't have it in, I don't remember right now. Sorry. It's just a set up in the layout. I can look it up. Okay, so Irma is just arriving in her other computer. She's signing in. So yeah, so basically you're a yes, Jeannie, in the sense that you've got your 3 objects. Okay, anyone else who has some weird setup of your screen, I need to make sure that we see that thing on the left side is a different color. It's called a sidebar. I need to make sure you see the sidebar. That's the main question I'm having right now. Irma, are you ready to share on your new computer?
Yes, good.
All right, so go ahead and share. Have you ever shared with that computer yet?
Not with this computer. I don't know.
All right, so then if you haven't, then it might ask you to system preference. Anyway, go to the share screen button, and then share screen, then you'll see a window with lots of options. The desktop is a choice. Now on the bottom right of that window, it says share again, a little blue button with white letters that says share. And once you click on that one,
oh man,
you might get a system preferences message. If so, let me know.
I got this basic advanced files.
Yeah, so on the far right, bottom, far right, do you see something that says share?
No. I'm trying to move the.
Okay, so after you click share screen, after you
did.
click the big green share screen, what do you see?
I found the button.
There, you found it. Okay, click. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Okay, good. Now we're seeing your screen. So go ahead and close this window, because this is the one that you need to. No, don't click on launch meeting. Go to the top left and click on this window and close it. You don't need this anymore. So
one here?
Yeah, that one. Mhm. Cool. All right, so here's your email. And you're seeing 2 columns. Okay, so go up to the, you're only sharing your mail window.
What else did you want me?
Oh, because I'm seeing your recording. So go up. Okay, no, nothing. You're fine. So go up to view. Go up to view now. Up to the top left, next to the apple.
Next to the apple.
Yeah. Does it say mail right there? I have something recording in front, so I can see. Does it say mail right there?
No, it's a
So so you need to click on your mail box at some point. Go down to the mail again and click on it to activate it. Yeah. Now up on the top, go to view. And now it says mail. So go to view and then go down to show sidebar.
Show sidebar.
All the way down, all the way down. And in mine, it said show mailboxes, and yours, it says show sidebar. You just passed it right there. Cool. There's your sidebar. Okay. Now it's so tiny. It's so tiny that you can't see it. So put your mouse between where it says gray and white, put your mouse right there. And once you see, yeah, click and drag to the right a little bit so that you can see all those words. Keep going, keep going. Cool, perfect. You don't need to have it so big, just enough that you can have an idea of what it's saying. Okay, cool. Good. You can have it a little bit smaller than that, by the way, because there's a lot of empty space and you want to make sure you still have space to read your email. So click on it again and move it a little bit more to the left. Yeah, right there, and a little bit to the left. There we go. Okay. Now, notice here, you guys, that go to your, can you go to your system preferences and go to your internet accounts to show, so down on your dock or up there, go down to your dock and open your system preferences. Yeah, and let's go to your internet accounts. And what accounts do you have? Okay,
I
so
could add the pipeline, Google pipeline account. I didn't know how to.
all right, so I kind of need everyone to have their pipeline accounts because I don't want you guys emailing each other with personal email addresses for safety and for privacy issues. I only want people to be using their pipeline accounts for this class. So let's just go through it and see what's happening. Click on Google.
Okay.
And since you are sharing, who knows if it'll work because, you know, sharing and Zoom. Yeah, click on open browser. Okay, put in your pipeline email address there. So whatever your pipeline.
Okay.
No, right now it's trying to give you your old one. So this is your personal one. So delete that. And you don't know your, I can
Well,
give,
it autofills, so I don't know where
well,
to go.
it doesn't. If you type in, it won't. So Irma Garcia, whatever your pipeline is, start typing it and then it won't autofill. Right now it's autofilling what it knows. But so you don't know your pipeline.
I don't remember. I think it's my email address is my.
I can recover your pipeline. What I can't recover is your I can find your password. So that's your personal one. So we don't want that one.
I don't remember what my my password or my
okay, I Garcia is your pipeline one. igarcia@pipeline.sbcc.edu. I Garcia. So type I Garcia at pipeline.sbcc.edu.
Oops, at what? What?
Pipeline.sbcc.edu. Okay, now I can help you up into that because that's not private. When you say next, go ahead. No, not pipeline.sbcc. So back up a bit and put in a
pipeline
dot. Yeah, pipeline.sbcc.
SBCC.
Dot.
Dot.
Edu.
Edu.
Okay, so now say next. Now go and put in that. Yeah, click in there. It's memorized. So say you didn't even need to know it because your computer has memorized it. Say login. That's your password, which you should try to remember. And there you go. There's your pipeline account. Go and scroll down to the bottom and say allow.
Okay.
And say done. Cool. You set up your pipeline account. Now, since you have two Gmail accounts, see up there how one says Google, one says eGarcia, whatever. This would be better if you like described what each one is. So like the top one, you can select and call it personal or call it eGarcia or whatever. And you would do that. You would go over to the right where it says details now. Go to the right where it says Imar Garcia details. Keep moving your mouse to the right. Yeah, and then for description, how would you describe that one? Gmail, personal, whatever it is that
I'll just say personal.
Personal, okay. And then say okay. And then you can do the same thing for the other one. You can select the eGarcia pipeline and then go to details and call it just pipeline or SBCC. But you have to select it first. Right now, say cancel. Say cancel. You didn't select it. This is your other one, the personal one. So select, yeah, and now go to details and describe this one whichever way you want. Maybe you leave that whole email address, but I find it better to write pipeline or SBCC or whatever you want, what makes you think and know that it's your school one. Okay, guys, so what I just did with Irma, everyone has to have done. We need your pipeline account connected for this. After class is over, if you don't want it anymore, I showed you how to disconnect it. But for class, I don't want you using your personal emails, as is the fact that this is recorded and now we all know her personal email is kind of weird to me. Normally, we're trying not to get lots of people. So everyone, please keep the promise to that anyone who does see stuff that's from, you know, when I'm in school, this never happens because you don't see personal emails, but here we're kind of seeing them. So, okay, so now you have these connected. Now go back to your email. You can close that. Yeah. And now when you go back to your email, now you have your different email accounts set up. Okay. So now you're ready to keep learning with everyone else. So I'm going to stop your share and you're ready to go. Is there anyone else who does not have the 3 columns or in the order that Jeannie had them? Rod, your hand is up.
I need to talk to you after class.
Well, there's so much I can do after class. If it's part of the class, I'll talk to you. If it's something
okay,
completely
alrighty.
different, I won't. So just ask me and then I'll tell you if it's before or after.
Okay, 3 or 4 times today, all of a sudden I've lost you. I'm still getting your audio. I'm turning the phone off.
Yeah.
I'm still getting your audio, but I've got nothing on my screen from the class. And now, of course, right now I'm looking at you with the pictures of people up above and everything's wonderful.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this has disappeared on me.
Yeah.
And yet I've still got the audio.
Okay. So that has to do with Zoom and your internet connection. What I would recommend is what I recommended during the break to someone else, to go to the Santa Barbara City College tech support and see if they can help you with Zoom. I can't even begin to help you with what's happening with Zoom. And it could be just the bandwidth that you have. And sometimes it drops in and out. It flickers. I really.
All right. Okay. All right.
don't
Let's
know.
forget it.
But
Okay.
yeah, no, but did you see the link in the chat? I gave, I'll write it in there again. So I'll put it in there again. I just pasted it in the chat. That's a link. And at the beginning of the break, I showed everyone, like after break was over, I had it on screen and I showed everyone how to go and get to student tech support. If you need to, then ask me and I'll show you again how to use that after class. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So everyone who needs tech support beyond what I'm teaching you, but if your computer is not working with Zoom or Pipeline, so Santa Barbara City College tech support helps you, but it's not like you can call with personal problems. They're not gonna, they're gonna, then they come back to me. No, not personal problems like, oh, you know, my garden isn't growing. Personal problems from your computer, like your own apps or stuff like that. I've gotten so many angry tech support, you know, the dean saying, your students call me for stuff about their own. And I'm like, no, you can't go and say my whatever isn't working. But if it's a class issue, your Photoshop that you're in my class stopped working, the Zoom that you can't connect, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's school related applications, then yes, you can ask. Okay. All right, cool. Any other things before I jump into making samples of email, maybe for Rod? That's true. Deborah has a good suggestion. Make sure that I always say at the beginning of class, close any other program that is running. And so she's suggesting maybe other programs are covering Zoom, right? So in which case you got to make Zoom come to the foreground, to the front. I don't know if that's your issue, but go to the little icon on the bottom bar where it's your scroll, you know, the little, it's blue with a little kind of white icon of a camera gear. That's your Zoom icon. You can right click on that and say show all windows and they'll all pop up to the front. And that might be what was happening. I don't know if that's it, but thank you. That could be a good choice, a good solution. All right. So I am going to now share my screen. My email screen. Okay. So here's what I have. Here on the left side, someone else mentioned that sometimes it says show or side preview. Or hide is the command to move the thing to the bottom. So thank you. Let me see. Go to view. Show favorites bar. That's different. I'm looking to what you're saying. Let me share my entire screen so you can see what I'm doing, because if not, you can't do it. So Deborah's, Jeannie's question about how to make it look different. Over here, it says show bottom preview. There you go. And now it's showing in the bottom, or view show side preview. It's going to the right. Thank you, Deborah. I need to pay you as my TA here, my teacher's assistant. Thank you so much. Good point. Did that work, Jeannie? Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I can't. I just did something I didn't mean to do. That's not good. But anyway, I think it was trash that I had there. Oh, I think it was a trash one. Okay. Did that work, Jeannie?
I'm trying to, I go to the view at the top.
Go view.
And
And
then,
in your case, yours is showing like this, right? When you select something, you see the email on the bottom.
Yeah,
So go
yeah.
to view and say show side preview.
it did it. Thank you both.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, thank Deborah. I knew it was there, but I haven't used it in a while, so I wouldn't have known where to find it. So thank you I always love it when people who are just kind of waiting around do stuff and then can help me. So yay, awesome. All right, cool. I'm gonna clean all your answers since everyone is good to go. And now what I need is everyone to prioritize their, I'm going to share again, just the window, just the mail window. There we go. And now here, basically what's happening right now is that here on the left, I have something that says all inboxes. Now, depending on how much you've used this or not, mine are all collapsed, right? Everything is closed. But for example, when Jeannie shared hers, she has it all open. When I believe when Irma, she has it all open. So depending on if you've been using it or not, these might be open or not. How do they open or close? This is a little tiny arrow. If I click on that, I see more stuff underneath. If I click on it, it closes again. If I open this, it closes and stuff like that. And then there's other accounts like here, I see something here that says pipeline. If it's already open and I click on that, then I see stuff, then I close it. So it's possible that you guys are seeing a lot of stuff and you've got these things going on, in which case I'm going to close them all right now for me to not have so much stuff different than yours, because each one has their own issues down here. I just want to focus on these top ones. So notice that on these top ones, I have something that says all inboxes. I have something that says flag, sent, and trash. You might have different things here because this adapts to what you have or don't have. Say that you have nothing flagged, then you won't see the choice of flagged. You might go, what is even flagged? If you didn't flag it, you won't see it, right? Now, I'm assuming most people have sent something, so you would have the all sent, but you might have not. If you never trashed anything, you won't have it trash. So it all depends on what you do or don't have down here. So does anyone have anything here completely different when they're collapsed that you want to tell me about? Now, when you uncollapse them, I'm going to open them all up. I'm seeing something like this. So I'll let you tell me if you have anything very different here than what I have, because yes, as I said, depending on what's up with you, you might have archive or junk. You might have different things in here. So by closing them up, let me explain to start with. If I have selected the word all inboxes, then, and I'm going to put my mouse here. See how I told Irma to make this bigger or smaller. So say that you see this really tiny like that, like she did, put your mouse in between these two colors and click and drag when you have this double-headed arrow and make it bigger so you can read that. And then the same over here. I can have a humongous email over there, or I can put my mouse here, and when it's double-headed arrow, I want to see more of the small descriptions and then a little window here, or, so you get to choose how big you see things by clicking all these windows to make them kind of work differently. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna make this one a little bit bigger there. So I see my inboxes, this one about yay. Anyway, so you adjust, maybe you have a smaller space to see your email, a smaller window, you choose which one you want to see less. Now, over here on the left side, I have clicked all inboxes. So just to be clear, I'm going to share both this window and my my other window, the one that was Minturn accounts. And remember that I had left the mail checked on my cloud account and on my pipeline account, but not here nor here. Remember that? So right now I have mail turned on 2 accounts. So when I go over here to my inboxes, if I spread it open, I have 2 accounts. I have my iCloud account and my pipeline account, because those are the 2 that I left open. Watch, I'm going to click on SBCC and I'm going to turn on the mail for my SBCC, and look what happened over here. Now I have 3 accounts: Cloud, SBCC, Pipeline, and SBCC Teacher. You see that? That's as simple. Now say that I want to look at my junk mail. I'll go to Yahoo, I'll turn on my junk mail, and now there you go. Now I can see my junk mail as well. Okay, now it's going to start downloading because I just look at 59,000. Look at all the stuff I get in my junk mail. So now I'm seeing all 4 of my accounts. Now I'm going to go back and I go, nah, I don't want to look at my junk mail. I'll turn it off. No, I don't want to, my SBCC Teacher, I'll turn it off. Like not turning it off, deleting it, but turning off the click mark, and I'm back to not seeing it. You see how simple it is to choose or not choose to see the email from an account? That's why I was saying, whenever I know that I gave a Yahoo email to something that needs a coupon, I'll go and go, okay, I'll turn this on. I'll check on that coupon. I'll use it. And then I'm not going to check on my email for a few more months. So I turn it off again. Does that make sense? How we use, this is my internet account system preferences, and this is my email. So right now I only have on my iCloud and my SBCC pipeline. You guys might have 2 or 3 or more, depending on how well you followed the instructions to turn this off. But for sure, you probably have at least the pipeline. Now, if you do not see all inboxes, if you only see 1 inbox, that means that you only have email coming in from 1 account. Okay. But the moment that you start having, so watch, I'm going to turn off my pipeline email. There we go. So now it only says inbox. It doesn't say all inboxes. You get that? If it says only inbox, that means that I only have 1 email account that I'm seeing. I'm going to turn this on again. And now I have all inboxes. All right. Is that pretty clear? The choices here. Any questions just about this? There's much more to go, but any questions about how come you're seeing? Okay. So when I'm seeing all inboxes for 2 different emails, I'm also will be seeing all sent from 2 different emails, or all trash from those 2 different emails. So the moment you see more than 1 email account, you begin to have doubles for all of them, or triples for all of them, or quadruples for all of them, depending on how many accounts you're seeing. Okay. Now, watch. I'm going to click on all inboxes here. And when all inboxes selected, I am going to be reading stuff from all my accounts. In fact, I'm going to have to turn on SBC Teacher, because since I don't get anything to that iCloud account, it's going to be hard to give you an example of things coming in. So now I have turned on my SBCC Teacher too. And I'm only doing that because this iCloud account, this is an iCloud account that belongs to the school account, and nothing arrives here. So like the last thing I got was April 1st. So I don't have much to show you. But if I want to see just that account, instead of clicking on all inboxes, I go and look at anything that came into the iCloud account. Everything that came into just my pipeline account, that's just my pipeline. Anything that came into my SBCC Teacher account. Okay. So this is how I get to say, right now I'm working. I want to see only my pipeline account. I don't want to see my personal one. Or right now I'm at work. I'm not at work. I want to see only my personal. So you turn in and you read only your personal account. So notice that if I look at my personal account, which is supposedly iCloud, this is a sample personal account, I see that it just says inbox iCloud, and it tells me the date I received them. If I go to just pipeline, it just gives me the date I received them. But if I click on all inboxes, then it also tells me up here what mail that comes from. So all inboxes mixes my different accounts in order of arrival. So at 2:40 p.m., I received something in my SBCC teacher account. And I just set this up in my phone. Remember, I showed you how to set it up. So I just set it up. So Google is warning me, hey, you just set this up on your phone. So that I just got it 2:13 p.m. And the same with Google Security Alert, because it's telling me, hey, a new sign in on the phone. Remember that I just did it in front of you guys at this time. So Google's like, are you sure it's you? Is everything okay? So it's sending me emails telling me that something happened. Then at 1:54, I got this email in my pipeline account. And at 1:43, it's another pipeline email. And then all the way down to 1:07, it's SBCC teacher. So as you can see, I'm receiving emails here from, I'm reading all the emails that are coming in from all my accounts, interspersed just in order of time arrival. Does that make sense? So if I want to just in one check everything that's arriving, there we go. We have everything. If I'm only wanting to look at one, I click in here or in here or in here. Is that working for you guys? Now, say that, as I said before, I don't want to see one anymore. All you need to do, because it's, as I said, you only want to check it once a month. We'll just go over here and disconnect it, because then you can watch it inboxes without having to see all the junk that's coming. If I put in my Yahoo account, I get so much junk that my email will be filled with junk. And I don't want to be looking at all that junk all the time. So I don't bother having it even turned on. Okay. Now I will turn this one on again, just so that we have a couple different accounts turned on. And now I have 3. So now that you've seen how this works with 2, I just wanted to make sure that it was, when I have more than 2, it's confusing. Now go back to your internet accounts and go to your personal ones or other stuff, and now turn on again the different features. In this case, turn on mail for the ones that you do want to see the mail. Now, right now, for pipeline, I also want my contacts and my calendars. Maybe I don't want my notes for pipeline, for example, so I can turn that off. It's a choice. If you never use any of these anyway, I'll teach you how to use them, and then you'll decide if you want them. Same with SBCC teacher. If I don't want to see SBCC teacher right now, email, but not the rest, then I just leave them off. So right now I only have 2 accounts, my contacts and my cloud and my pipeline that is using the calendar, but my SBCC teacher is not using the calendar nor my contacts. So when I go open the contacts, just like this, I will see contacts from these 2 accounts, but not from the 3rd. Just like this, just like I did now with my email. So we're not opening yet the calendar accounts, the point of app, nor the notes app, nor the contacts app. But here's where you handle seeing the contacts from all your different apps, seeing the calendars from all your different apps. Does that make sense, you guys? Any questions about this, theoretical or not? I see some hands up, so I'll go answer some hands right now. But yeah, Bonnie?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I've done something to mine that I've added or something. So would you mind if I share my screen? All the other, oh, somebody else. Oh, because you're sharing.
I'm sharing. So yeah, when you need to share, I need to stop sharing. So yeah, go ahead. That's okay.
Okay, so over here. There we go. Okay, so here's all of my internet accounts. And
Yeah.
now all of a sudden, not only do I have this iCloud one that we talked about, now
Yeah.
I've got, well,
Oops.
yeah, it's wanting me to sign in for this, which,
Well, go ahead and say cancel for now.
yeah.
You
so
don't
I have
have,
the same one on here twice, actually 3
Mhm.
times, because if you go down here, it's the same exact one.
yeah,
Three.
so this is what you had mentioned. So say cancel. This is what you had mentioned the other day. And what we said was, well, let's see what happens when we start opening the app. So now that we're working on the apps, when and you're only sharing this with me, not the whole screen, so I can't see your email, but when you open your email, what are you seeing? Do you see mails twice? Let's see, open it up, and then we'll see which one of these is superfluous. You know what I mean? Because you have duplicates and triplicates that you've entered in different modes. And what I want to see, so go to your email now, open up your email app.
Okay.
And well, I can't see it, so you need to reshare, go up to say new share, and then share the whole desktop so that we can see both at the same time. So click on new share, and this time click on desktop and then say okay. And share.
Okay.
There we go. So now let's look at your email, put it up, and whoa, you're seeing. Okay, so you have Vino Divino email. So see how she has all these different ones, but we know that some of these are the same thing. So let's scroll to the very top. Yeah, click on Vino Divino email.
Okay.
Now, can you move the okay, so in Vino, yeah, so that we can see both what's on and what's off. There we go. Perfect. So now we see both what's on and what's off. So now in Vino, yeah, leave it that it. So in Vino Divino email, the numbers that are on the right that say 327, 5,000, all that, we'll talk about that later. That just means unread emails, okay? It's not how many emails you have, it's how many unread emails. In fact, Vino Divino email, if you see a little bit to the right of your mouse inbox, it says 1,000 messages, like right where your mouse was, you have 1,044 messages, 327 are unread. You see that?
Wow.
On the left, you see only 327. That's just unread. Now, just so you know, reading it is as simple as clicking on it. So but before I go to your question, see how the Eric Grant email has no dots next to it, Namecheap has no dots next to it, but go all the way down to Namecheap that has a blue dot on it. That means it's unread. Click on it.
Okay.
There, it's been read, and see how it went down to 326?
Uh-huh.
So that's all it takes for it to be read, so to say, is clicking on it. That doesn't mean that you paid attention to it. Maybe you need to go back to it. Now I'm seeing a lot of duplicates here. So click on that and click on that again. On the next one.
Oh, on the next.
Up.
Yeah.
No. Don't double click. Close that email. We're not trying to open it up. I would never, if I were you, double click. So go to the top left, red, little red. Yeah, close that email. I'm going to teach you guys not to double click. Okay. Because if you double click, the same email opens in another box. If you just click, that email is opening on the right side on that preview window. So that's it. That's all, you know, but right now, I think you have the same one again and again and again, because you're seeing that email so many times. So click on the one above, right above. Is that exactly the same email? Yes, sent it exactly the same time.
Yeah, it looks like
And
it.
then up at the top again, keep going up. It's the same email. The email, like you have the same thing twice. You
Yeah.
have domain contacts twice. You have
Okay.
Namecheap twice, right? So some of these you are seeing duplicated. Got that? So let's go back to your system, to your, yeah. So Vino Divino at Exchange, that's how you should have brought it in because it's an Exchange email. So let's go find in the bottom where you have the info again. So this is the info email, right? So
Yep.
go down to the next time you see your info email. It's on the left side. That's your info again.
Yeah.
So we don't need both. So we can disconnect one of those. So go down to
Same
the
with
bottom.
this one. Same with this one. So it's
Yeah,
three.
so go, okay, so then go and get, no, okay, cancel. Go down and click that little minus.
Okay.
Minus.
On this one.
Yes. Click there, delete that account, turn off that account, or
Right.
remove from all. You don't want it from anywhere that you have it. Okay. And now you had that info again on down there. So that's the only info you have now. Now go down, you had that info again somewhere else.
Right here.
Is that okay? So say minus on that one too.
How do I get it on here? So many
And then remove from all, I don't know. So there, now that info I believe is only once, right?
here. So that
Okay.
means now over on the emails, I'm not going to see the same email. In duplicate.
Hopefully, but it might be that that one might have come from a different email, not from your info. We'll see. That came from your Vino Divino email.
Yes.
Yeah,
because
so
I would
click on that
highlight-
one now. And now you only have Vino Divino email. Is that your info one? Okay, now ideally you're go and you're getting it twice still. Namecheap. Go to
well,
another email.
Isn't that because, oh, so in other words, when I got rid of that, it should have gone away, the ones.
Yes. So
Oh.
let's see if you have that again on something else, because you have it a few more times. So let's go see, is your Bonnie Vino email?
No, that should be my personal one.
Okay, and then Bonnie email
That should be,
up on top there, and then above there's Bonnie email again.
yeah, that's.
Click on that one.
Seems to be on there twice also.
So that's fine. So you go to the left and start choosing until you have one of each only left. right? Because you have so many in there. So click on that thing that at the bottom says Bonnie. Go love and blessings, go down
Yeah.
to the bottom one.
Go
To-
minus.
no, to the one that says Bonnie Vino. No, cancel.
Okay,
Go to the one that says Bonnie Vino.
okay.
Okay, I'm looking for if there's another info. And then Bonnie Google email. That's a personal
that's
one.
That's
And then you
different.
have Bonnie email at the top. Okay, so you have, so as long as you don't have any duplicates here, what's the Vino SB inactive that you have at the bottom? Go down, down, down.
Yeah,
That's info.
yeah, so
at
that, I
Vino,
think I can get rid of that too.
get rid of that one as well.
Okay.
Remove from all. So
How I keep adding these to my.
yeah, I don't know. So now, click without, I'm going to stop sharing, but click on each one of these. Make sure that each one is a different address. Okay,
Mhm.
or just do it quickly. Okay, that's
Well,
one.
this is the one you told me earlier. that
Oh,
it's okay
yeah.
that they're
So this
twice, but
one,
then- Yeah. So
but
that's.
that one you might want to delete the bottom one then, if it's the one that's the email, but we want to make sure.
Look
Oh,
at that,
Vino
inactive,
is
this came back
inactive.
again.
Showed up again, so that's interesting. So what's happening and why? Why is it automatically popping in? Wait, I wanted to read.
Oh,
Sometimes you
sorry.
need to, it's okay. Well, if it pops in again, we'll go and see. It's like some app is using it or something that it keeps coming in. Let's
Mm.
go back to your email for a second, because this is a problem that you're having, not everyone. So I'm just wanting to say cancel to that. Just wanting to clean it up a bit. It could be that you're getting certain things that you're receiving, that you gave them 2 emails and you're getting it in 2 different emails, right? Like
Mhm.
here you have now one. Oh, look, it deleted. Now you have Namecheap 7/27 at 8 p.m. Click on that, 8/11, click on that one.
This.
On the next one.
Oh. I don't
One
see-
thing that I'm not seeing is what email they're arriving to. So could you put your mouse on the right side in between? No. In between those 2 and open it up a bit more. There we go. So if you click on all inboxes now. And well, no, you're right. You need to go find it. So click on that one. To your Vino Divina email, you are receiving 2 emails. And look, that one says, they look similar, but one says old registrant and one says new registrant. It looks like with these people, maybe you registered twice. So you're getting 2 emails from them because you
Oh, I see.
registered twice with them. And so now it isn't about them. It is truly that you're getting 2 emails from them with the same information. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's a different.
So
It
it's
says the
not that it's
bottom, so
duplicated,
both
it's actual
registrations,
counts.
both of the registrations that you did are sending you a support
Okay.
email. So you're
Yeah.
getting the support email for both your registrations. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean.
And that's why that's happening.
Mhm.
But other than that, if you scroll down, hopefully you should see one of each only, other than all these name
Like
sheets.
the name sheep, whatever that is.
But everyone else, when it starts with an and,
Yeah.
I'm seeing only one. So that's better. Phew.
Okay.
Okay, it's just that whoever named Cheap is beginning to send you a ton of info to all the accounts that
I
you
don't even
just
know what that is.
connected. Okay, all right, so
Okay, good.
hopefully that's working now.
Yeah, so
And
there,
then-
look, that inactive showed up again.
Yeah, so I need to, that's an AOL.
No,
no, it's an-
info at
Oh,
vinosb.com.
no, by the way, notice that up at the top, it's not even the right email, name.info@vino.com. like,
Yeah, it's not
it
even
doesn't
the right
even
one.
have, it doesn't even have your email. Oh, it's just a name, info@vinosb.com. So it is another repeat of the same one.
Is that-
Huh, go to advanced. Yeah, go ahead and say cancel. We don't want it. Go to advanced.
Okay.
So no, cancel that. I'm not sure why.
Why it doesn't want to go away.
No, but also on the right, now that you turned it on, let's see how it shows up. Vino SB at the bottom. Oh, and look, cancel.
Oh,
And again, look, guys, one more thing to teach everyone from here. So see how she has Vino Divino email 362, Bonnie email 5,000. But if you go to the last one, can you point to Vino SB that we just turned on? See how
Mhm.
she has on the right side a
Oh,
little
yeah.
kind of squiggle?
uh-huh.
That means that that email is not connecting because it's missing information or password. So if you
Uh-huh.
guys have any of your emails that show you this squiggle, it means that right now you're not collecting from there. So when she clicks on that to fix it, click on
But
that.
that should be the one that says inactive and.
Yeah, I
it's
know,
a
but
duplicate.
just showing what it needs. If it were to be a good one, an active one, you need to put in the password. Now you don't want it, so go back to your internet accounts and turn it off again. But why it's not completely turning off? Go ahead and go and say minus, no, turn it, no. Okay, say turn off from all. Go
Okay.
ahead and say turn off from all like you just did. Go back to minus before turning off the email. See, this is a bit
Okay.
different. Remove from all, or turn
Turn
off
okay.
account first.
Okay.
Before we were just saying remove. Okay, so that was all it
And
did
now
is
try
turn it
again.
off. And now delete it again. And I don't know, otherwise this might be something you need to deal with tech support because it
there
shouldn't be
it goes.
popping in again.
It's funny because I couldn't get rid of this game center either.
Oh.
I tried removing that and it just wouldn't go away either. It says, are you sure you want to delete the account? Is that what my game
Yeah,
center would be
That's the
under?
game thing, yeah. So if you say
I tried
okay,
that
why
and
would it not delete?
Yeah, it just doesn't go anywhere. Oh, look, that inactive showed up again.
That's crazy. So that's something, okay. So when something like that is not delete, something weird is happening, plus the game center should just delete. Since it's not deleting, and again, it's your AOL account. Maybe there's an issue because is this whole thing an AOL account? Vino Divino, all this is an AOL
No,
situation?
they're all
No,
different.
okay. So then
AOL is my.
you might need some tech support from like
Okay.
Apple to figure out what's happening and why these are not deleting, because that's
Okay.
beyond my purview.
Oh,
And
okay, okay.
I
so-
don't really know why it's not deleting, but at least you cleaned it up. You seem to have one of each now, other than that little
Amazing.
weird one.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, I'm such a mess.
That's okay. No, not at all. That's why everyone's here. Plus, as I said, seeing you deal with that helps other people look at their stuff and go, oh, that's what's happening here. That's what's
I
happening
hope
there.
so.
Some issues are personal to one or another, but multiple emails repeatedly entered, that is something that a couple of people have already mentioned, right? So yeah. Molly? Your sound is off?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I got a junk account, which is very effective because 99% it really is junk.
Mhm.
And it takes just a minute to get rid of it.
Exactly.
Is
Isn't that
a default? Is that part of a default?
No, that's a different issue. So I'm gonna teach you now about the junk. So it's not an account. There's a junk folder. So I'm gonna teach you about that. So it's different than having a junk account. A junk account is what I have. I have a whole different email that I send my junk to. That's great, but that's not actually, let me cancel because I need to share both of these windows with you. And here we go. So I just turned on my Yahoo, which is my junk account. So if I go over here, this is another address. It's another address that I tell people to send stuff to. And if I go to it, there's like so much stuff here. Some of it's good, some of it's a mess, some of it is, you know, it's a ton of stuff, right? So stuff I don't want to, but it's not necessarily so junky. It's like every now and then, if I go to Michael's, I'd like one of Michael's coupons because they're really good. I don't know if anyone goes to Michael's, they have some pretty good coupons. So I sent them there. And when I know I'm going to go to Michael's, I'll click on Michael's and I'll go, oh, here's a good coupon for this week. But I don't want these coupons entering my email all the time. That's what I mean of what I send to Yahoo. That is different than actual junk. So what I mean by actual junk, if I go to, if I want to view different, let me see, mailbox, here's the thing. Say that you receive something that you decide is junk. So I'm going to go to something that I think is junk. I don't get that much junk in my pipeline, and I don't necessarily want to call anything junk, but what's this? Starting soon, can you make it free? Photoshop class. Okay, so this is just because I'm a Photoshop teacher, things arrive. This is junk as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the computer that I need to not receive stuff from this account anymore. So I'm going to call it junk. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways of calling it junk. So this is something that comes to my email that's not a junk email, but somehow some junk filtered in. So I'm going to go ahead and I can right click and say move to junk. Okay, that's the easiest way. Or you can go up here and one of these icons, the one that has a little X, is called move selected messages to junk. but it's too similar to others and it's very similar to the archived one and stuff. So it's kind of confusing. I'd rather right click and mark move to junk. So everyone go find one thing that you never want to hear from these people again and say move to junk. By the way, you can undo this. So don't worry, it's not completely permanent yet. Say move to junk. It disappeared, right? But if I go over here and to the left, I'm not seeing, I'm going to put, I'm not seeing my junk email here. But in my, I could be seeing my junk in here, but I'm not right now. But notice that I can see each one of my accounts individually. So I'm going to close all these so you understand. Here I am seeing iCloud, Pipeline, SBC, Yahoo inboxes. And then only a couple more things, sent and trash from all these inboxes. That's it. But there's more. Each one of these accounts has more stuff. So say that I want to see from SBCC Teacher more stuff. Down here, I can open up and I'll discover that I can see important inbox drafts, sent, junk, trash, archive, enrollment. I can see a lot of stuff from that account. In which case, if I go to junk there, that's what I just junked. That's my Kelvin Pilmont starting soon. Can you make it junked? See that? I put it in junk and it's kind of yellowish. So the next time this person, this email sends me something, my computer is going to just send it to junk. And that's the one Molly's talking about. You need to train your computer. When you receive something in your good email that is junk, truly junk, you just right click on it and call it junk. So then your computer is getting trained because it's not necessarily junk. There's a thing called spam that is true junk, right? That someone has sent to your computer, sold your thing, and you start receiving real bizarre stuff, real junk, real like, hey, I don't have any of my accounts here that's receiving junk right now. Is this one? Let me see what kind of junk I can get in my Yahoo account to show you what junk would be. Here we go. Notification dish retailer. By the way, a lot of these look like they're real, like service at PayPal. PayPal is a place that I use to pay money, but I'll teach you more about junk in a minute. Look at the time. But you need to be able to distinguish if this is real or not. And there's many ways to distinguish it. But the computer, Apple already knows this is junk. Apple has a filter of what's junk and it didn't even bother showing it to me. It sent it already to junk. See that? So I didn't even have to see this. It went to my junk. Adults only, notification, Nancy from Nameprints. This gift has your name on it. Top quality, whatever. How would I know if this is junk or not? Well, first of all, Apple already assumed it was junk and sent it to junk. And that's why I didn't even see it. But if I happen to not know that it got into junk, you can go up into the top where it says from who it is, click on that little arrow, and it'll have some weird email that has nothing to do with like PayPal or whatever it's from. And that tells you it's a junk, it's spam. So say I go to service at PayPal and I go to who sent it to me and look at the name of who sent it to me. Look at that. It's a joke. And Apple knew this, so it just sent it to junk. It didn't even bother. On the other hand, I had to tell the computer that this Kevin Pilmont, from now on, please treat it as junk, because it's a true email. This is actually a true person and it's not considered junk. I just don't want it. I consider it junk. So I send it to junk. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's one thing that it truly is junk and Apple sends it to junk, or if I go, this junk filtered through, this is junk. So I named it junk. So in the future, it's going to call it junk. Now, sometimes it make a mistake. The Chronicle of Higher Education is actually a real place. And I do receive this newsletter, and it's not junk. And I'm not sure right now why it's considering this one junk. So what I can do is say, no, this is not junk. So if I find something in junk that should not be junk, I can right click on it and move it back to my inbox. It's already in junk. So instead I move back to the inbox. So now my computer knows that, no, I do want to receive my Chronicle of Higher Education, and it's not supposed to have gone into junk. And maybe once I mistakenly threw one to junk, so now they've all been going to junk. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is just me having sent it to junk. And so now it's sitting in junk. And so it's good to check your junk now and then to go, ooh, Why, how did this end up in my junk? But once you train it well, like Molly said, it recognizes stuff that you said was junk and it goes to junk. Gmail kind of does that too. Gmail has this thing where it has your personal, your social, and some other stuff. I don't remember right now. I don't have it in front of me. And it kind of filters that things that way for you. Anyway, there's also a way to block emails and stuff like that. Right now, I just want the basic setup of how to use your stuff. So we haven't yet received and sent emails from each other, but which we're going to do. I'm going to show you about contacts and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you the basics of this in the sense that when you click all inboxes, everything is filtering in. When you click on these, it's individual one and another. But notice what I said before, that this number is just what I haven't read. Okay. And so there's a ton. I don't read my junk at all. So there's a ton of stuff that I haven't read. But now all the stuff that I don't want, I can delete. But all the stuff that I do want to keep, I can, let me actually get rid of the Yahoo right now because I don't need all that extra stuff. It's too confusing. There we go. So now I just have these three. And say that now I received something from Sonia Thompson, for example, that I do want to respond to her, right? So if I reply here, it's going to go back to her from who she sent it to, from sbccteacher@gmail. If I read something from Pipeline and I want to reply to her, it's going to go back from Pipeline. If I receive something in my iCloud and I want to reply to that, it'll go back from iCloud. Things will go back to from where they came from, which is why this is much better than just forwarding an email, right? As an example of reading them all here. I know that we're running out of time right now, so we're going to do a lot more practice of sending emails, attaching stuff, bringing in and out. The main thing right now is I wanted you guys to get comfy that whatever you see here in the favorites, this part is the favorites. If I close this favorites and I don't see my favorites, right? So how do I close my favorites? I go over to where it says favorites, where there's a plus sign and the little arrow. I close my favorites. If I don't see that, then what I can do down here is I can see each one of my accounts opened up in all their glory. And this gets really confusing, right? Because there's so much to see from each account. You see that? So it's easier to, like, that's where I went to look for my junk account, but it's easier then to just have a few things that you check all the time in your favorites. And by default, my favorites are showing me the inboxes, my flagged, my sent, and my trash. It's possible that you have different favorites here. Maybe you don't care about your flagged and you don't want this to be in your favorites. You can get rid of it. So this is a quick access to the important stuff. So some of you guys see archived in here. Some of you guys see other stuff in here. I have a lot of different mailboxes that I'm going to teach you how to do. Say that I'm going to talk to you about what archived means and doesn't mean. So does anyone see here under favorites something very different than what I'm seeing? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, favorites, this word up here, which if I collapse it, I don't see it. Now for older application for Catalina and under, instead of this little arrow, you might see a show and a hide over here. Is that working? Do you know what I'm talking about? We're going to talk about smart mailboxes, which right now, by default, I only have one. So say that your smart mailboxes are closed, open them up by clicking on this arrow. And then what is smart mailbox? We'll make some of our own. But right now I have one automatically made by Apple for me. If I click on this, this is going to show me only things that arrived today. So so if I click over here, I get everything yesterday. I keep going down. But if I click on today, it's set up just for my iCloud inbox right now, the way this one's set up, because it's the automatic from the iCloud account. And they're only showing me iCloud things that arrived today. And in my iCloud account, I only saw one thing. Instead of showing me everything that iCloud has ever received, it's only showing me what the iCloud account got today, which is only one thing. So we can change how we see these inboxes, these smart mailboxes. I'll talk about it to you later. All mailboxes, we're going to talk next week. Right now, I want people who have questions about these things that are showing up here or not. You have any questions about that? So in my iCloud account here, I'm seeing the possibility, I could be seeing inboxes and drafts and sent and junk and trash and archive. So what's a draft? If I start writing something and I don't send it, that's what a draft is. So as you can see, there's no drafts there. So there's no need for drafts here. If I begin to have drafts, then I might be able, if I use my drafts a lot, I might be able to put them here in my favorites. I have a lot of drafts in my pipeline, like all the things I send you every week saying, hey, this is a Zoom link for the class. I have them in my drafts, and every week I copy them and I send them to you without having to rewrite it again. So that I leave in my drafts, so I don't have to rewrite that email again and again and again. Does that make sense? I just copy this one every day, make a new one and send it, but I leave them in the drafts. All right, so that's what a draft might be. It's an email that you haven't sent. Okay, so when you read an email, if you want to read this email and you click on it, it appears over here on the right. And that's it. That's all I need to do. Some people have become accustomed forever to double click. If you double click, which is what Bonnie just showed, are you seeing the opening? Sometimes it doesn't share. You see how it opened as a second window? Did it open as a window? Because I don't know if you guys are seeing the entire window. Sometimes pop-ups don't show up. So now I have this in both places as a pop-up window, and I also have it here. So it's unnecessary. And the problem with this is that I forget about it and I just kind of keep, I didn't mean it, and I read it somewhere, something else. Now I begin to have many windows open. I'm going to double click this one to read it when there was no need, because I was reading it there and I didn't close it, and I double click this one and I don't close it. I start leaving lots of little open windows of emails down there. Let me share my entire desktop with you. You might not notice them, but now I'm having a lot of different windows open. I'm going to double click this one and see how I'm seeing the exact same thing. So as long as this is big enough, you don't need it. Now, if you have a teensy little window and you're not leaving enough space, then yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable to read this in a tiny little window. So just try to make it a little bit bigger so that you can just simply click and read it right here. Click and read it right here. Because now, otherwise, look at all the little windows that I've got left hanging around back here of all these emails that I read and I forgot to close. Most of the times people forget to close them. So now I have to go and close each one of these windows individually of the email that I've read. So now I leave only one window where I see it here, I read it right here. I see it here, I read it right here. Does that make sense, you guys? All right, so if you don't know, if you have a ton of open windows just kind of sitting there and hanging every time you double click and open it, one way to know would be over here, go to window, and it'll tell you how many windows you have open. And for a lot of people, this is really eye-opening because you don't even see them anymore because they're hiding. And I know class is over, so I'm going to finish in a second. But just everyone, make sure that it says mail right there. Go over to window and look down here and see if you have many things open. Each one of these is an open window that you might not even have known was there. So you can select it and it'll pop up to the top and you can close it and go back to window, select it, and it'll come up to the top and you close it. Because many times you don't even see all those open windows. You select it, it comes up to the top, you close it. Okay, if you see them, you can close them directly. When you're finally done, you should have only under window, one window that's the all inboxes. All right. Now, this is something that for some of you guys, it's like, yeah, no problem. And for others of you, people have said, oh my God, I have 300 emails open. Really? Like, because you've always double clicked to open it. So I don't know what you're in or who you are or what's happening to you, but this is how you close all the extra open stuff that you don't want to have open now. Okay. Molly, your hand is up. Is that a new hand or is it the same as before? Same as before. Okay. Catherine, yours is a new hand. Yeah.
Yeah. I have 62 drafts and favorites. How do I get rid of it? I want to keep it, but it doesn't need to.
All right.
Be my
So
favorite.
officially class is over. So no one needs to stay anymore. If you want to hear what to do about drafts, please stay. The class was over a few minutes ago, and I know some of you guys have to leave. So I'm not going to teach anything potentially new. I'm just going to show her how to delete some drafts, but I'll show you how to delete emails next class as well. Okay. So say that you go to drafts and you have a ton of drafts that you don't want, right? So you can say that there's one here that I didn't want. So I'm going to click on this one and I don't want it anymore. It's in my drafts. I can go up.
My question is, how do I get it out of my all favorites list? I don't mind it being within the different particular
okay.
categories.
I see.
But if I want to remove it from favorites, how
Got
do I
it.
do that?
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay. So then I'll put it in. I'm going to go ahead and put my drafts in. There we go. And now I don't, so there, see how I have drafts in there now?
Gotcha.
Now
Mhm.
I can just get rid of it. So I can go over here to plus and
Get the arrow key. Oh,
no,
geez,
right
what'd I do?
click,
That was
right
wrong.
click and remove from favorites. There you go.
Oh, gosh, I did a bad thing. I got
So-
no mailbox selected, cancel.
Right click on all drafts and remove from favorites.
I made all my favorites go away. That
Oh.
was stupid.
Well,
Okay.
that's fine. Go back to favorites, click the plus sign, and then go
Oh.
and choose what you want. Do you want your inbox? You want?
Oh, okay.
I'll put it in my
Alright.
junk. I'll put my junk in there
Okay.
now.
Oh, I gotcha. I
And then
just
you
make
right
it
click and
again.
you get rid of what you don't want.
Okay, all
So
right.
you can choose what you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
in your
yeah.
favorites. So if you don't want to look at your trash all the time, right click, remove from favorites. If you want to see what's in the trash, you click this little plus sign there
Add
and
to
you go choose what
mailbox.
mailbox you want to see your trash. Okay, and you say,
All
okay.
right.
So then
Thank
that makes
you.
you choose what you want to see in your favorites. Okay, so if you never need to look at your drafts, don't bother. If you
My
never look at your
personal-
flag, don't bother. Flagged won't be there if you haven't flagged emails, so I'll talk about that next week.
Yeah,
All
my
right.
personal went away. And then Deanna, can you just help me one more time to figure out why that wasn't working on the my backup? Because that's the one I got the drive for.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want me to do it
so
next
I'm
week
gonna-
or watch
no,
the
no,
video
No,
again?
no, that's okay. It could be that we need to format it in a different way. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna help her now with her backup. So again, you can hang out if you want to listen more, learn more. It could be that because of the formatting that she did, we need a different format. So I'm gonna do some stuff with that with her. But other than that, we will continue with this conversation next week. All right. So yeah, Catherine, go ahead and share your screen. And bye to everyone who's leaving.
Thank you.
All right, so here you go. So go ahead and close this window. You never need to leave open the big old, once you've connected, you can close the launch window. Go to the top left and close this window that says SBCC Zoom. Just go and click the little red dot. Get rid of it. Go to close this launch window. Yeah,
With just the red button?
yeah.
Okay, sorry. And I lost my audio because I was.
Because that's the only window you were sharing. You need to share your desktop. For this, I need to see.
Okay. Share, back at this one, maybe?
Shared desktop.
There.
No, because then I can't see everything. Share desktop. I need to see more than just that. I need to see three. We're gonna have to open your window,
Okay, so go to Finder and then just say desktop.
No, when you say share, it tells you what window to share. The top left one is always your desktop. Say desktop. So go to share screen.
Yeah, I
and share
never
your
noticed
desktop.
that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
There we go.
Sorry.
So now I'm seeing everything that's open. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can choose what to share. In this case, we're seeing. So now close recents. Yeah, and close your email from now.
Okay.
Okay, good. So now, let's go ahead to go to the Finder. Go to Finder and let's see if it's connected. So go down, we'll make it a bit bigger.
It's showing there.
Okay, so click on it. Is there anything in it? No. Okay. Go to your Apple and show me again what your computer is. Go to the About This Mac. And it's Catalina mid 2012. So yeah, so you should have extended journal. Okay, so let's go back to the disk utility, which you do have it in your dock because you used it a short time ago. So yeah, there it is, disk utility. Cool, select your external. External OS journaled, which is fine. So, okay, so now let's open your system preferences. We'll do it again, but if not, let's open your system preferences.
It's wanting an update, so maybe that's the issue.
No, I don't think so. Click on that. That's probably telling that you can update to a different. Go to software update and it'll probably tell you that you can go up to another, like, go there where it says after, it's probably telling you can go up to Monterey. No, Catalina. Oh, it's a security update. Yeah, security updates you should do, but right now, no, because you'll have to
Okay.
turn off your computer.
Okay.
So later, go and do an update. So go back up to the little waffle icon there on the system software. No, you're in where it says software update. Go to that little waffle icon, is the one that has many dots.
I'm not seeing it on my screen. I gotta move it down because
Oh
my
yeah, you've got
chair
the
is in
Zoom
the
stuff
way.
in the way. Okay.
Trying to, let me move it. Let me grab it and move it down.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, and now click on time machine.
There we go. Oh yeah, I had too many time machines.
So if you scroll up and down, scroll
It's
up and
not
down. Let's,
showing
okay,
up.
so go down and say add, go down and get add or remove backup disk. And scroll up, there it is, CW 2012, click on that.
Click it.
Yep. Okay, and say use disk.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, cool. And now
Thank
that's
you.
it. It's been
Thank
set
you
up.
so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool. I just wanted to first, before I told you to do that, I wanted to check because since you had to reformat it a few times and
Yeah.
I wanted to move on with the class, but yeah, there you go.
And so
all
now
set
it's
up.
doing its thing. I can close that down and
Yeah, so now, now close that. Go up to that whole menu thing at the top where you see that little icon, the left,
the-
yeah, click on that, yeah. And let's see, latest backup. Go ahead and say backup now, and it might ask you which backup. Which thing to back up, because you have so many. Are they all connected? Are these guys all connected?
no, they're not all connected. We just keep one in the safe and I keep telling my husband, did you really back it up? And I didn't.
Okay,
understand
because
that.
here's the thing, that when you don't back it up all the time, when you have them all connected, it takes turn. It backs up one, then the other, then the other, and the other, and it goes back and it cycles. But see, like here, it's saying like these haven't backed up since August 20 and 21. So
Right.
these haven't been backed up in a long
This is a
time.
new one. This 8 terabytes is one that I have my iMac hooked to. And what I understood you say is I can't put my laptop and my iMac on, or
On
can
the
I?
same one, no.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. And my husband has done that apparently.
Well,
So I'm going to separate those
it's
now.
confusing.
That's why I'm just getting this so I don't have to have him in the loop.
Can you back up? 2 computers onto 1 hard drive with time machine. I'm asking Google because it's possible, but let me see. Open, how to use time machine, can you use whenever to machine backups? I guess you can. If you have a very large disk, you can partition it part. Okay, so yeah, but partitioned.
I don't
Got
know.
it.
that
No,
he knows how to do
partitioned,
it.
yeah, no, partitioned, yes, I knew that. I thought like without partition. What a partition means is, say that you have a 5 gigabyte hard drive. When you do the formatting that we just did with the utility, you tell it, please partition it. And so what it does is that it turns it into the equivalent of 2 different hard drives. And
I
then,
gotcha.
and then they show up as two different hard, like literally they show up, you see them as, you have one thing you plug in, but they show up as 2 different hard drives with each one of its own name.
Gotcha.
So that's the only way out, but not otherwise. Okay, so then
And
you
this
have
is
the-
showing me it's doing the backup now.
It's doing the backup on yours, yeah.
Yeah, and this is just my laptop and I don't hardly ever use it that much.
Mhm.
But I wanted to
Okay.
make sure it's got important files I can't lose.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
So there you go. Now
Thank
that
you
one's gonna
so
be
much.
backing this
So
one.
can I hit the red button and
You're
just leave it
welcome.
on?
Yeah, this will just do its thing. Mhm.
Thank you so much.
You're
I just
welcome.
feel so grateful. I'm empowered. I appreciate
You're-
it. Have a great one. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. Bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Deborah is gone. Shoot. Oh, well. Oh, well. All right. Bye.